We are.
Yeah.
Wait, we're going in raw?
We're going in raw because it's a hump day. Woo!
Nice.
Nooner on a hump day. We're back. Oh my God, it's been weeks. At least 2, right? 2 weeks since we did a nooner. Hi, everybody.
It has.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Too long.
It is Wednesday hump day, April 23rd of 2025. It's 11:30 a.m. Central. We're starting a little late. And Kathleen Kennedy has been stepping down since 2020.
Yeah.
Wait,
She gone
down
again.
On her knees?
Well, you know, I think it was because she was on her knees, or she felt like she was on her knees for so long that when she actually got creative control and had to do something besides get Spielberg coffee or basically follow her actual producer husband, Frank Marshall, around, that she got tagged on because she was just the girl that was, she was just the groupie that was there early on. And she got a lot of producing credits for what? I don't know. As my good friend Jeremy says, nobody saw a fucking movie because Kathleen Kennedy's name was on it. We knew who she was because we were fucking dorks and we memorized everybody's names in the credits for Raiders of the Lost Ark because we went to the theater and watched it 20 times in a calendar year. Maybe more. Maybe more. At the El Camino Theaters in Oceanside, California. At the Man Cinemas. The Man Cinemas. MANN. Yes. But she has accomplished nothing. And I say that because what creative contribution did she make to any of these fucking movies that we know of? None. But when she was given the job, when she was put in charge, when she was able to facilitate, when she was called the most powerful woman in Hollywood, she destroyed the greatest cinematic intellectual property ever made. That's her legacy now. I don't give a fuck what her name is on before that. She is the worst executive in the history of Hollywood. The most incompetent and the dumbest.
I would argue she destroyed 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Willow, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars. Star Wars is the most prominent, you know.
And that's how much, as they say in prison, that's how much juice George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Don't forget, Steven Spielberg, who is active in Hollywood, has more power in Hollywood than George Lucas. He just does. Because he's active in Hollywood. George Lucas kind of told Hollywood to fuck off. And it's that name that puts fear in the hearts of they don't have hearts, but pretend they had hearts. Fear in the mechanical, satanic hearts of Bob Iger and other executives in Hollywood. And it's not even, you know, we joke about like she knows where the bodies are buried. She knows where all the pictures are, and she probably does. But you know what? She probably has some too. They're afraid of Spielberg. You should be, which is funny. Yeah. Remember Chris Gore? Remember when Spielberg wouldn't get, they wouldn't give Raiders of the Lost Ark Best Picture or E.T. Best Picture because Hollywood fucking didn't like the guy. Saw him as a up-and-coming little snot-nosed brat that wants to upset the system. And then he just became everything that hated him. It's kind of sad. Kind of sad.
Yeah, what was the last really good movie he made? That, I mean, I like some of the things he's done, but like War of the Worlds, I kind of like that with Tom Cruise.
It. Yeah,
it was good.
Right.
That was 2005. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute since he's done something I really liked.
Yeah, see?
He tried to do a Kubrick impression with AI. Didn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
But he still has a ton of power. You know, he did Lincoln, right? But he does very Hollywood pictures now. And like Spielberg was a nerd. He's doing a UFO movie right now, and I'm actually looking forward to it. We'll see what. Yeah. I'm guessing it'll be a very government take on it. You know what I mean? A very UFO proceedings, David Grush government take on it. But former Senator Harry Reid was really into the UFO stuff. Guy I don't really fucking trust or didn't trust when he was alive. I trust him about the same now that he's dead. Not at all. Yeah, it's been a while. So, Kathleen Kennedy, let's go to the article, X-Ray Girl. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go to the article.
I've been seeing videos. She's stepping down in August.
She's stepping down. Star Wars rumor. Kathleen Kennedy stepping down from Lucas. Oh, I'm sorry. This is from June 6, 2018. Come on, X-Ray Girl. We need to. You can do better than that. I know you can.
I'm so
X-Ray
sorry.
Girl.
Wow.
X-Ray Girl.
Come on.
Okay, this is my next source.
Well, yes, unless rumors from sources can be proven to, all these garbage ideas will be leaving with Kathleen Kennedy when she resigns as president of Lucasfilm in 2020. And that's from 2019, X-Ray Girl. Come on.
I'm sorry.
God.
Okay, I got it.
Rumors swirl. Okay, here it is. Rumors swirl about Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy's potential firing. 2022, X-Ray Girl. What year is it?
2020.
X-Ray Girl. Come on.
X-Ray Girl. God.
She keeps getting fired. I don't know. Okay. Here we go. I think I got
maybe
it.
this time you'll get it. Rumor: Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy will be seeking a renewal or extension of her contract 2023. And we know she got that renewal. I'm thinking her contract just runs in perpetuity. I don't think she renews it. I think she just goes, I'm staying. Okay, maybe we can get to this year eventually.
I hope so.
Maybe they could be talking about her twin. She does have a twin sister.
She does have a twin sister. She also played quarterback for her football team. Let's see the next article.
Is that true about the quarterback?
She said that. Yeah, she said that. Hey, Star Wars Both? God damn it. Fucking Invisalign.
I've had
Star Wars Both. Star Wars boss Kathleen Kennedy planning to exit Lucasfilm at the end of 2025. Hey, at least this one's from 2025, X-Ray Girl. You did it.
Yeah.
But that's not the article we're looking for. It's still not the article because she's been fired twice this year. Right. Update: Kathleen Kennedy is not stepping down in August. Wait a minute. I thought she was stepping down in August, everybody.
Wah, 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 wah. Perfect. Wow. Okay.
Well, I wish I had job security like this. Jeez.
Well, when you get Steven Spielberg coffee and then you marry his producer friend, Frank Marshall, and get your name on all the fucking movies, thanks to Frank Marshall, the actual producer, you know? You get this. She is the epitome of failing upward in Hollywood.
Yeah.
100%. She's the greatest producer. No, Jerry Bruckheimer is a good producer. Jerry Bruckheimer is a good movie producer. Not everything he makes hits, but like you see a Jerry Bruckheimer production, you know you're going to have a little fun. You're going to have it's going to be some action movie. You see that little lightning bolt hit the tree. That's a fucking good producer. That's a guy who knows how to produce movies. She produces shit and gets paid a lot of money for it. They just had Star Wars Celebration in Japan. Does anybody like even remember a fucking thing from it?
Well, a lot of things were announced to the point where Sean Levy had to like say, "We're not just announcing it. We're shooting it."
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there was no update on the Rey movie, that's
hilarious.
Humiliating for Daisy Ridley 2 years ago to walk out on that stage and they announce a movie featuring her character from Star Wars, and then they don't have a script. They don't, that director kind of went rogue on shows, probably trying to save it. I think that project is DOA. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that nothing from the sequel trilogy is selling, not merch, not like nothing. And this year is the 10-year anniversary of Force Awakens. You'd think that would be significant?
Hey, we're only 10 years away from it being appreciated as a classic Gore.
Well, I'll say this: the prequels have aged well. I believe they aged.
Okay.
You know, our reaction. Like, I know you're not a big, but also, and I at the
Let's
time,
be real. Okay.
right?
They've aged well because we had something worse to compare them to.
Right.
If no Disney trilogy comes out,
true.
dude, there is definitely a generation that loved them as kids. Like young kids went and saw it. So Ryan, he was fucking like what? A semen.
Yeah.
A sperm.
Yeah. he was
when he went and saw it, right? So
Right.
he's like, "Yay, look at little baby Darth Vader cuz that's what we really wanted to see." Like Revenge of the Sith as a movie that is fine. Okay. It's fine. There's moments I like in them. There's like I love it when fucking Yoda takes on the Emperor. I love it when Yoda takes on Count Dooku. I love all that shit. I do. I genuinely love that stuff. But they're not good. They're not like you could like them, but they're not good. Just like I say, I like the Hobbit trilogy. I do. There's some shit in it. And it goes on too long, but I like it.
I bet you could cut a 90-minute version of the Hobbit trilogy. That would be
You could do the same with the prequels, and they've done it. They've
I
done
would-
the
I would
Phantom
agree.
Edit. Yeah. So you do the same with the prequels. You just cut out everything of Darth Vader as a fucking kid. You don't need to see that
Right.
at all.
Well,
Like,
Topher
stupid.
Grace famously cut together like an 80-minute, prequel story because the thing is there are great moments. There is great design. There's great music. There is greatness with garbage mixed in. And so George had no one on the set saying no. He didn't have a Gary Kurtz. He didn't have a Marsha Lucas. So with no one to say no to the bad ideas, all the bad ideas leaked in, because I would argue George it's the same George that made Star Wars, the Star Wars OT, right? Like it was Gary Kurtz and Marsha that kept him from bad decisions. He was more open and receptive to other people, or people just say no. And even he argued against Han Solo saying, "I know," instead of "I
He
love
also
you
had
too."
a circle of he was always talking to Spielberg, Coppola,
Right.
Milius, and Kasdan. Those are the people he's bouncing ideas off for the original trilogy. So that's his circle of friends. Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg, John Milius, fucking Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah.
Like, that is in their prime, in their fucking prime. George Lucas secretly had something to do with Apocalypse Now. It's crazy. And Body Heat. He basically executive produced that movie, but kept his name off it because it had a bunch of sex in it. Like they were all, and that was Larry Kasdan's movie.
Like, they were the generation of the young kids at the time in their 20s that changed Hollywood forever. Changed it. This just did. And Jaws, the anniversary of Jaws is the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
50th anniversary of Jaws is
And
this summer. Are they doing something? Are they going to re-release it?
Well, I'm sure they're going to re-release it, but here I'm celebrating early with my Stanley Cup of Jaws, and I have a complete matching outfit of all Jaws shorts, shirt, a beach towel. I am going full Jaws this summer.
They should. Like Jaws was Jaws was legit, not technically, but it was the first blockbuster.
Well, it was
the first summer. It was the first summer blockbuster.
What's funny is Roger Corman complained, like, it's a monster movie. It's an exploitation movie, that the kind of movie Corman would make, but with sort of elevated stakes, better character, like everything was better, but it's a monster movie.
Yes, but everything we see now, like this summer, well, we haven't seen it in a while because Hollywood's been out of sorts because they suck. But the summer blockbuster essentially started with Jaws. The phenomenon of Jaws I mean, the little kids won't understand. Like, people were afraid to go, not just go to the beach, go into fucking lakes, go into rivers.
Yeah.
People were afraid of the water because of this fucking movie. It's fucking crazy.
That's how good it was.
Like, people were bitching, like, nobody's going to the beach because they're afraid of sharks.
One thing that was announced at Star Wars Celebration that maybe people forget or know now. The next one takes place in 2027. It's April 1st through 4th, 2027 in Los Angeles. And it is the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. It's coming. That's what now there's only one guest I care about.
What? Okay. In 2027, right?
Correct.
So, yeah.
One guest I care about who should be there, who should be at Celebration. And that is George
Lucas.
I don't care about anyone else, but George Lucas should be there, do a victory lap for at least his time with this franchise, and have maybe something to say. So, I've gone to most of the celebrations. I did not go to Japan, but if it's in LA, I might as well go, especially if George will be there. But that's what I would push for. I would push to have
Cyber
George.
Chud 2077 says for $4.99. Sorry, I'll get on camera for this. My bad. Oh shit, I just lost it. George had people saying no, Chris. He had Darth Vader saying no.
Okay, well,
ruined the
sense.
characterization of a legendary character. Ruined, I say.
Yeah.
That was not good.
Well,
he could have said nothing and it would have been better. It would have been better if he just got up and said nothing and you hear the
yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Not no.
Well, just
God damn
George-
it, bad.
famously, there's a much longer cut of the first Star Wars in black and white that is like the assembly cut, and there are tons of dumb and bad ideas, like jokey slapstick stuff. All that was cut from the movie.
Oh.
All of it was cut.
Yeah.
But George allowed a film professor to show this. It's what they call an answer print, like a assembly. It's in black and white. You're just trying to edit the movie.
Yep.
And you see so many bad ideas that were excised because of Marsha, convincing him, let's get down to what matters and not these jokey, like humor that was on the level of Jar Jar in episode 1 that was in the first Star Wars. And most of that was cut.
Yeah.
The majority was cut.
Some of the stuff is put back in the radio show that
Right.
George allowed USC to produce for PBS. And it's good implemented into the radio show. It's really good.
It's fun. Yeah. I had the CDs.
George's biggest mistake was in Return of the Jedi, not showing the construction of the lightsaber in the beginning. That was Luke becoming a Jedi.
Yeah.
That was Luke becoming a Jedi. It was kind of important. It's in the book. It's in the book and it's in the radio show. They never did Return of the Jedi. You know that, right? Until later.
What?
The radio show.
Oh, the radio show.
They didn't do the Return of the Jedi one until later. So they did Star Wars and Empire in the 80s. And then it was I can't remember. Remind me, chat. It's later. I remember because we were like, it was such a big deal. It was coming out. We're like, oh my God, they're doing Return of the Jedi. Yes. So, yeah, and this hot take from hot take. This is from Japanese Demon Lord Abir Lucifer. For $5. Every opinion's allowed here, and you know what? Some people might agree with this. Hot take: Jaws is better than Lord of the Rings. Sorry, Gary. It's true. Nothing will beat Quint's drunken monologue. That's one of the greatest monologues in cinematic history. Jaws is a damn near perfect movie. Is it better than Lord of the Rings? That's such a weird comparison.
Yeah,
no, because Lord of the Rings is longer and that good for longer. So if we want to just get into dollars and cents, Lord of the Rings is longer and better because it's longer.
There you are.
You get more of it. You get more good with Lord of the Rings. Jaws is great, but it's not as long as Lord of the Rings, and it's great for the whole time. So I win.
That's hard to compare. How do you compare those two? Those are not comparable. They're just
No, they're not. I tried to pull something out of my ass there.
No, whatever.
I really tried.
I like them both. I like them both.
No, so Star Wars is coming up on its 50th anniversary. And let's go back to Star Trek's 50th anniversary. What was memorable about that?
Not much, but I was in Vegas. Yeah, that was it. I was in Vegas at Star Trek Las Vegas at STLV when it was called that. Were you there?
I was there. Right up until it wasn't. And then the first year it wasn't, the owner of the con, when I was talking to the Salty Nerd podcast, came up and fucking yelled at us for not wearing a mask.
Oh yeah.
So on my way out, I gave that guy the business.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not coming back to your fucking con, you piece of shit.
I went
fucking
to the
kneeler cocksucker. I was throwing all kinds of very not nice things to him.
But yeah, I went to the 50th of Star Trek. I will go to the 50th of Star Wars. And my fingers crossed, George is a guest. He should be.
Okay.
And by then I would hope that Kathleen Kennedy will actually be gone. But we can count on more stories about her exit.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. I predict she'll be fired 3 more times before the next Star Wars celebration.
Right.
Hashtag Nerdrotic was right. I want to hear that when she's fired 3 more times before Star Wars celebration. But what I'm getting to, Chris, is Star Trek 50th anniversary. They changed their logo. Does anybody remember? You know, Doctor Who, not in a good space right now, did their 50th anniversary right. That is a memorable 50th anniversary. It's something they led up to for an entire calendar year. They added more episodes. They made it a plot in the show where they kind of alluded that they would give you his name, which they were never going to do, and I'm glad they never did. Right. But it mattered. And also, it mattered to something at the end of Matt Smith, not even necessarily with the 50th, but they set up so many mysteries. And basically, they found a workaround for the Time War, right? To save Gallifrey, only to fuck it up again. But I digress. If we stop at the 50th, they built up to it. It got huge in America. They had giant celebrations. They did audio adventures. They had the 5 Doctors get together for a little. That's a fun little movie. They did an adventure in space and time, which is the William Hartnell documentary. I mean, they did a bunch of fucking shit. And again, they did an audio venture with the 5 living doctors who were not, the 8th Doctor's in this one too, but who were not in the 50th anniversary special, which is fucking amazing, by the way. Probably the last good big Finish production. They did a ton of shit. And then they brought back Tom fucking Baker in the 50th in one of the best Doctor Who scenes ever. Like, they did it right. And Star Wars is like, let's get Ryan Gosling and put him in a Starfighter movie. It's fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
It's fucking pathetic.
That is so dollar store Star Wars. What an uninspired title. Star Wars Starfighter. Like,
I know.
Someone joked, I saw someone had joked, his character's last name is probably Starfighter.
Oh God.
It's such a dumb idea. It's probably true. Ryan Gosling's character's last name is Starfighter.
Dude, okay, credit for baby steps here. They're bringing white dudes back to Star Wars. But, I mean, he's probably going to be gay. Just be ready. You mentioned it in the chat also. Yes, the 50th anniversary special for Doctor Who was screened in cinemas here in America and across the UK and across Europe. Like, that's how fucking big it was. We did a watch party in my store. We had people in my comic store watching through the window, dude.
Wow.
I had a projector. We were able to get a signal, going to work a little magic. And through the internet, pirating ITV at the time. I think it was ITV, something like that. Not ITV, iPlayer or whatever the fuck it was. And we played it in the store. And it was fucking great. Star Wars, nothing planned. Like, nothing planned. And you got to start planning more than 2 years out. And they're going to come out with I'm betting this movie gets delayed, even with Sean Levy directing who's like anointed as this great director, and I'm like, he directed the third best Deadpool movie. Like, got to give Tim Miller some credit. That first Deadpool movie, pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good. Yeah, Chris, it's kind of sad, dude. So what were the big announcements? Oh, wait. Hayden Christensen is coming back for Ashoka Tano. I know it's Ahsoka.
Yeah. Season 2.
Season 2.
I just feel like everything was, not just uninspiring.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, for Sean Levy to say we're definitely doing it is an acknowledgement that Lucasfilm announces so many things that don't happen that people don't believe it. And remember this, 2 years ago, you can look up the footage on YouTube, whatever. 2 years ago, Daisy Ridley came out on stage with that director. I don't want to say her name because it'd be like putting a fatwa on someone. I don't want to mispronounce it, but Charmin Obaid Chinoy.
You don't want any personal jihads coming to your house.
I don't want anything bad to happen. I'm not going to say it. But what I'm saying is,
you just said it.
It was
don't send no jihads over here.
Like she was brought out to such fanfare. I felt sorry for Daisy Ridley because I think that she's really been like, she's done the best she can in light of her circumstances. But, I think someone like Mikey Madison, who just won an Oscar for Andor, turning down a Star Wars project is acknowledgement. Like, I don't want any part of that mess.
And is that the fans' fault? Because John Campea.
No, I don't think it's the fans' fault.
Thanks to the channel John Campea Exposed for putting that out there, by the way. John Campea said it's the fans' fault, Chris, that Star Wars sucks.
Well, John Campea has a lot of takes.
He does.
He has a lot of takes.
Well, I think it's time I finally tell you all that Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers wrote the script for The Last Jedi. So it is his fault. Fuck him.
Right.
He's been denying it this whole time. No, he wrote it in crayon with his Crocs on and his pre-tour jeans. And he misspelled every single word. But the script was his. Okay.
He's responsible for the porgs.
He is. So. Good God. So, Sean Levy has to come out and goes, we're really making it. We promise.
Yeah. He says they're shooting this fall. My guess is maybe, because here is, look, if they're going to make something Star Wars, Lucasfilm doesn't have the money. They need it from, Daddy Iger, right?
Yeah.
Bob Iger.
Yep.
So that's why I think all these things haven't happened. And also, if Andor season 2, which we will get to, is any indication, $650 million
wait,
12 episodes.
Wait, hang on. I think I have what?
Yeah. $650 million, which is like they made 4 movies. Kind of like they made 4 movies. We'll discuss later. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that Kathleen Kennedy has been particularly fiscally responsible when it comes to budgets. Remember Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's I almost said dysentery, but that's your
you should say dysentery.
I should. I feel like I can't take that from
dysentery.
You. Like that budget out of control. She is not proved to be good at budgets.
No.
And you look at Acolyte, and I'll say before we get to it, one quick comment about Andor season 2. It looks like they spent that kind of money. It really is the best looking, like,
okay, but did it look like that with Acolyte? No,
it didn't. That's what I'm saying is
let's not forget the Rise of Skywalker's budget, which was over $600 million. And at the time I heard it back then, I'm like, you're gotta be kidding me. But that's the case. So that's over $500 million on that movie they spent.
I really think that Kathleen Kennedy would be out just for the financial irresponsibility when it comes to budgeting these things. One of the things, like, Lucas was always, he wasn't cheap, he was frugal. And he was always looking for an inexpensive way to solve a problem. I mean, he was so frustrated with modern editing that, you could only, about editing. Did you ever edit on film, Gary? On film?
No, I never edited on film. No.
I did Super 8 and 16 millimeter. When you edit linearly, right? He created Edit Droid to edit non-linear. That was so radical, right? So, I'm just saying that Lucas should be given more credit than just for Star Wars. He was a pioneer in many things.
And he should be there.
Yeah.
But they should be doing they should be moving Star Wars forward with like a bigger movie than just Ryan Gosling flying around in a fucking X-Wing after Daisy Ridley. Looking for what?
Since when are they going after? He's a celebrity and he is a star among the very few in Hollywood. He doesn't really, I don't even know if he has a social media. But he doesn't say doesn't say stupid shit.
No.
Does the job.
It's fine.
Reliably good.
But like what I'm trying to say, Chris, is you should do something a little more special. I know they can't, and I know they're incapable. And quite frankly, this is probably the best move they can make is like, but it's typical. Even if it's like, okay, it's a dude who's directed a couple of decent movies that people like, but it's like a couple of decent movies, not great movies. And you got Ryan Gosling. I like Ryan Gosling. I think it's fine. I think it'll work in a Star Wars movie, but what is Star Wars? So what are they going to be searching for? Is he going to be searching for the soul of Star Wars, searching for the meaning? Because it doesn't know what it is. It's in the same boat as Marvel is now. They don't know what they are. They have identity crisis. They're going through an identity crisis because they thought they were changing things for the modern audience, and they found out that the modern audience is the same as the old audience. And the audience that the new audience that's out there, they just like good shit. They don't need to see themselves. Okay, they don't. Normal people don't think that way. Somehow I managed to enjoy Sinners. There isn't a good white person in that fucking movie.
Yeah,
Ryan's gonna hate it.
I have some problems with the ending of that movie. It's like rare. I don't say this often, like almost never. That movie would have been better longer because that tacked on like multiple endings that like it would have been better so it had time to breathe, not like a mid-credit, end credit. Like it didn't need all that. Like it would have been benefited from being longer.
Yeah, we will discuss it. We will discuss Sinners.
Yeah.
I watched it last night finally because I'm home and I'm catching up on all kinds of stuff. Mobland, just fucking great.
Yeah.
It's fucking really good, really good, really good. And I'm gonna finish watching Andor. I've gone past the first 3 episodes now. I made it to 4 of season 1, and my opinion has not changed.
Yeah, it's a slog.
It's fucking slog, dude.
That first season, I would say the payoff is the ending, if you can consider that. But season 2 is much more focused. It's going somewhere. And it felt like Andor season 1 wasn't going anywhere. And I don't know if you want me to talk about it.
We will. Let's do a couple soups and then we'll talk about it, Chris. I think that's a good idea. Vincent Cruz for $20 says, for me, who's 22-year-old for me, who's 22 years old, growing with Star Wars and hating it due to Disney, I always have debates defending the prequels against the sequels. Those movies at least had a backbone. With George versus Disney, they had no plan ever. I totally agree with that. Like, however I feel about the prequels, it's Star Wars. I don't say they're not Star Wars. They are George Lucas's. They are made by the creator. That's the way he intended it to be. I just didn't like them. I just didn't like them. What they were setting up for those of us who were OT fans, and we were spoiled because we got the best trilogy. We did. And reading Bantha tracks and all the ideas that he changed, by the way, none of us had imagined seeing baby Darth Vader, like toddler Darth Vader. Like was such a waste. The 3 movies should have been Revenge of the Sith. Read the novelization. Yeah. It's fucking great. It is great. That is my favorite version of that is my prequel. Is the Revenge of the Sith novelization is fucking 10 out of 10. It's so good. And when I was listening to that before I saw the movie, because it was released before the movie, I'm like, this movie's gonna be fucking epic, man. Forget the first two. I'm down with this movie. Let's fucking go. Yeah, it was like bullet points of that novel. It's so sad. It's so sad that George couldn't figure out a way to get into fucking Anakin's head, right? There's a way to do that, to get into Anakin's head, because you're in Anakin's head in that book, and you're seeing him pulled between his father figure and the Jedi. And the Jedi, like, come off as complete fucking assholes in the book, as they kind of are to him. So, yeah. They're using him. They have no intention of, like, yeah, they're just fucking using him. Right. And they might have it rationalized in their way, like, we're not using them, but they were. TFW for $20 Australian of all the OT Star Wars trilogy releases over the years, aside from the Han Solo shooting Greedo alterations. What is everyone's favorite change and worst change? A small addition I appreciate is Cloud City getting windows. I like that. I mostly dislike the changes, particularly in Empire, because it changes the pacing of the music and the scenes. Yep. The one I do like is the most unpopular take of all, Chris. Getting rid of that stupid fucking song at the end of Return of the Jedi and putting in, like, Celtic John Williams music, I think was a vast improvement.
John Tesh.
Is it John Tesh who created that?
No, it was similar to the kind of music he
but it was John. Yeah, it was John Williams. Like, like Celtic. Yeah, I forgot John. So John Williams Celtic. Tesh. He did Celtic music, but it was John Williams who did it. Yeah. But it's in John Tesh style. That's what you're saying.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, like, I think that was an improvement. What do you think, Chris?
I hate all the changes. I think the change I can't think. The only thing that improved it is something that's invisible, which are the matte lines. I remember seeing, like, going to the Berkeley Theater in Berkeley, Michigan, which was our dollar theater, the discount theater. I saw Empire 7 times that summer when it played, because it was only $1. I'd go up, get some popcorn, $1, boom, I'm watching the movie. And the print was not great. And if the bulb isn't adjusted just right, you can see the matte lines, which, like, follow the spaceships. It looks bad. And they fixed all that. That's the one fix I like, and no one would notice it, depending on how bright the bulb is. Do you remember that?
Like, I do.
Certain, like, you could see the matte lines, but kind of only if you're looking for them. If you're wrapped up in it and the bulb is adjusted, you don't really see it, but you can see it. And they fixed all of that. And that's the only fix I like, which no one would know. And everything else doesn't improve the movie. There's no improvement whatsoever. The Jabba scene you didn't need in New Hope, like, all this stuff, even changing the title to New Hope, I think was dumb. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't, no one calls it A New Hope, but I just did. But I don't like any of the changes, like, none. I mean, fixing things, sure. Changing things, no. A fix or a change. A fix, okay. Yeah, but he was editing the movie even after it came out, famously.
Yeah.
Because there were only 10 prints out there, and he kept fixing stuff. So later prints, there were different versions.
In the re-releases. So, like, more Wampa. Not Wampa. Why am I saying Wampa?
You're right. Wampa or Tauntaun? What are you talking
about? No, Wampa. More Wampa in Empire Strikes Back was terrible, because it broke the whole pacing of that scene. That there's a whole generation who's never seen the original pacing of that scene.
It's
when he's reaching out for the fucking lightsaber and the music beats are all da-da-da-da-da, you see the fucking lightsaber moving. They fuck up the pacing of that, and it's like, what did you do? And I knew that, like, at the time, you know, I'd seen that movie a bunch, and I was like, good God, why did you do that? And they fixed some of the daylight effect scenes in Return of the Jedi, which were just terrible.
Yeah,
they were fucking, and they weren't much better in the fucking, to be honest with you. But those daylight scenes that they shot in Yuma, you know, it's fucking bad. That the sand barge and its shadow.
Some of the blue screen was not great at the time. Blue screen. Yeah, no, it was not great. I like I say, I don't mind the fixes, like fixing that, great, but changing it, none of the changes improve any of those movies at all.
Yeah. Duke Devil 95 has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you very much, Duke. And he super chats $25 and says, thanks again for another great Vegas meetup this year. Not only did I leave Vegas up $750, but I got a classic Vegas story now. We hear Kathleen Kennedy is leaving. What a week, right? Hey, if she leaves in August, which that's already been debunked, that would have been a great birthday present, Chris. I'll believe it when the door hits her on the ass on the way out. I agree. And yes, Vegas, Chris, you were there.
I was there. It was fun. I want to thank everybody. They were so kind, and I had so many people come up to me and tell me stories of their health journey. Everybody asking me for health tips. I don't know. All I do is don't be an idiot. Don't eat stupid shit. Walk 5 miles a day. I do it in the morning to get it out of the way. I get
it's also better for your heart rate.
Yeah,
in the morning.
So I do like 3 miles at least in the morning or longer, and then by the end of the day, I'm 10,000 steps. I'm doing good, and I do that every day. And then I just avoid. I don't completely not eat. Like every once in a while I'll have a Dorito chip or a cookie, but it's rare, and I try not to keep that stuff in my house. I just don't keep it around to avoid temptation. I just eat like real food. I love what we're doing with the Maha RFK. I love it. Maha, getting rid of all the dyes by I think it's 2027. All the food dyes that cause cancer, should not have those. They've been banned in other countries everywhere but here. So let's get rid of them. That's like step one. But I go to the grocery store 3 times a week to get stuff that's fresh. That's it. That's all. So that's my journey there. But everyone was great. I got gifts. I had a whole area of a pile. I'm sure you did, Gary. People give me stuff. Can't thank him enough. Ryan Cannell re-gifted me a Detroit Lions signed by Barry Sanders mini helmet given to him by, I think it was Enrique. I'm so sorry. I'm going to forget, but Enrique should remind, because he's been in our chat, but thank you to Ryan for that. And Enrique, but yeah, it was awesome. I can't, it's also like people stick around. You could have stayed there till 3 in the morning. Yeah. Like no one was leaving. Right.
No, it was, it reminded me of the UK. It's been such a whirlwind. I haven't been able to sit down long enough to put out a proper thank you. I usually do on Twitter, and I'm going to do that today, by the way. Sorry it's taken so long, but what a whirlwind 2 weeks. I had to go to San Diego to take care of some stuff with my mom, and then we went to Vegas, and I got there a little early, so I was able to hang out with Melissa a little bit, my wife, to get a little wife time in. And then I met AJ from the Y-Files, had dinner with him. That was fucking great. He's a cool dude. Best part, the meetup. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what this place looked like. We had to change venues. Unfortunately, Alex at the Millennium Fandom Bar had to sublease the other half out, so it wasn't big enough. And we unlike other meetups, we kind of have to cap things. And the reason we have to cap things is so I make sure I can see everybody. That's the whole point, is to meet you guys and to hang out and have a party, and for you guys to hang out with each other, which you guys are great at that now. And it's so much fun. It was our 5th year in Vegas. So our 5th one over 6 years, because we had to cancel one because of fucking COVID. And it's great every time. It makes, it fills your heart with hope and joy. When you see the fellowship, you see just, your fellow fans out there, still having fun despite all the shit that's happened, enjoying the cultural shift now after, you won a battle. That's all it is, though. It's just a battle, but feeling a little more hope out there, a lot more smiling, people are inspired. They're inspiring for me, and getting to meet. And I stay and I meet every single person. That was right up. That started at 7. We were supposed to go to 10. It went to midnight. Could have gone to 3 easily. We had 350 people on the RSVP. There was definitely more than 350 people there. Definitely more. AJ from the Y-Files showed up. Chris Gore showed up. Ryan was there. I didn't see fucking any of them. I didn't see Chris the whole night. Chris never made it back to me the whole night. That's why I'm glad I hung out with Chris the day before. I got the spits. It was fucking amazing. It's amazing meeting you guys every single time. It's the best part of the gig. That's why I'll never stop doing these. I'll never stop. But that's the thing I heard the most is don't ever stop doing these. I won't. And
okay.
it's
I don't want to. I just want to say, did you see R&B there?
No.
Well, someone came up to me and says, Robert Meyer Burnett. I did not correct this person.
No.
I said, let's get a photo.
You should have said, I'm the viceroy of verisimilitude.
Yeah. I said, hey, let's get a photo. I said, tag me on social media. So
tag RMB.
I hope he tags Rob and then he realizes.
Oh my God.
No, it was great. Everyone was so cool. I was really humbled by the whole thing and overwhelmed. So yeah,
it's overwhelming and awesome, right? It's like something you never want to get tired of, and it really like it keeps me grounded, right? You know, it's not. It really is like you know, like this is. I have to remain grateful. Like this job that I work at, right, was still a gift. It's like I've said it before. It's like winning the lottery that you worked really hard at. It happened later in life. I was talking to AJ about this because they have a similar, you know, AJ was doing his thing, right? And then this shit happens in our 50s. And it's like, this shit's not supposed to happen in your 50s, right? So I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. It's all gravy. Could end, and it could all end tomorrow because we're in YouTube's and Google's hands. But like getting to talk to everybody is it's fucking great. I enjoy it. It reminds me of being at the shop. So my favorite part at the shop, Chris, and I did that shit all day at the shop, stood at the counter, shot the shit, sometimes with one person, sometimes with 5 people, having 5 different conversations, and I was able to do it. Like, it's so much fun. And everybody has their story to tell, and I want to hear every bit of it. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for waiting in line. I don't know why you're waiting in line to see me, but I'm really grateful for it. I'm never going to take it for granted. Never going to take you guys for granted. This has been the greatest gig of all. And seeing you guys like go off and do like meetups on your own and having your own schedule, you know, Iron Oxide and the gang, like they were fucking partying it like all weekend. I'm like, look at all the shit. They're doing way more shit than I am. They're having fun without me. And that's great. Little FOMO though. Little FOMO. I also officiated a wedding, Chris.
Yeah, I heard that.
X-Ray Girl was there.
Yeah, it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where was it? Where was it?
It was, what was the name of that chapel again? It was nice.
Glass Chapel, I believe.
It's on the row of chapels, kind of. It's a little off. Glass Chapel. It had a nice water feature in there. It looked very zen. It was very. It looked.
It was actually beautiful.
It looked kind of Rivendell, a little bit, and I think that was on purpose. So, Sheep Sidian, great guy, and Horror Amarada got married, and they met in the chats, and those 2 kooky little kids decided to tie the knot and have me officiate the wedding. Now, they wrote me a script. I riffed on it a little bit and added an ad read in the middle of it. So
really?
Geek Grind Coffee sponsored their I wish I could remember where I found a place to insert it, and it was like, it was something to the effect of, I'm going to start every day loving you, but start every day with a good cup of coffee. And Geek Grind Coffee. So I got an ad read in, and it was great. And then I wore the jacket I married them in on FNT, and everybody, Jeremy thought it was gay, which is funny coming from a guy who wears Crocs and pre-torn jeans. That jacket was dope, by the way. I will wear it again. It's got a bunch of little skulls on it. 2 fabulous gay men sold it to me in a mall in Las Vegas. They're, oh, sugar, this one is so you. Like, yeah, it is. They're like, do you want a little spritzer? You want some water? Like the whole fucking gay thing was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, it's fucking amazing. Oh, and then I went to go see Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson afterwards, and saw a bunch of people there, and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, watching Graham Hancock. So Sedona's beautiful, Chris. Beautiful place. Lots of crystal hippies, but beautiful place. So it's an amazing week. Thanks to the fellowship. We'll be back next year during CinemaCon. So we're going to go back to centering it around CinemaCon. There's a drinker of Critical that I'm going to invite this year for next year. See if he comes. I don't know if I'm putting him on the spot now, but he may or may not come. But it's not that he doesn't want to meet you. It's probably because he's busy or something. But we're going to put out an invite to him. I think Ryan expressed interest, and we want to get Ryan in, Chris. Well, so I'm going to apply for press.
You should go in. Look, there were so many YouTubers that have channels much smaller than mine. I'm 141K. I mean, you're 1.2 mil. But I saw YouTubers that had pretty small channels that got press badges. You need to apply. Just put in the numbers.
Yeah.
Don't talk about your philosophy. No one cares. Put in, here are the stats, social media, YouTube channel. Be very dry.
Dude, if San Diego Comic-Con will say yes, CinemaCon will say yes. So,
yeah,
I really want Ryan to get in. I want Will to get in.
Well, you might want to, like, if those guys like
well, Will can apply for his own press pass. I'm sure he'd get it.
You can, but if you don't, just pay it. They can't manipulate.
Yeah,
just go there.
I'm gonna try press pass first because it's kind of expensive. Of course. But you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Just put in the numbers, and I want to see Ryan Kinnell standing right next to Black Girl Nerds.
With his shirt.
Yeah, I ran into her there.
Yes,
and we had a pleasant conversation, but she's more upset with me. Like, she says, "Are those really your opinions? Are you?" It's like, also, by the way, you and I don't agree on things. On certain things, we don't agree, right?
I would ask her, "Are these really your opinions? Like, you're supposedly a nerd, and this is how you've seen the nerd space."
Who cares? I just and I looked at her. I said, "Look, we can have a real conversation. I know you don't like people I hang out with. You don't agree with mine, but we can have and then we had a whole conversation about a movie she never heard of.
Yeah, dude. Which is what? Sinners?
Bob Trevino likes it. I think one of my favorite movies this year, and John Leguizamo's in it. It's a little indie movie. Gary, I'm not recommending it to you. If you saw it, you probably like it, but it's really good. She'd never heard of it. I got a whole I love talking film, and I like, there's mainstream stuff I like, and mainstream stuff I think is shit. And indie stuff, same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, The Ugly Stepsister, I thought was one of my favorites. I think, did I send the trailer to you?
You did. And that's the kind of indie I'm into. I'm into quirky, weird, high concept or low concept. Right. I am not into indie movie about a non-binary fucking lesbian riding a fucking unicycle in Idaho. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. But
there's one coming out this Friday called The Legend of Ochi with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
It's like an 80s movie. It's like it was like from a completely different era. It's like an 80s whimsical kids monster
Buckaroo
movie.
Banzai.
So good.
Buckaroo Banzai. If you want to talk about like my perfect indie movie, and that's an indie movie. I know everybody like Buckaroo Banzai, dude. That's my shit. I love that.
It's very 80s too.
Yeah.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, it is one of the most 80s movies ever made. Like 100%.
Yeah.
No, Black Girl Nerds, have you read any of her articles? Like, I would ask her, is this how you see the world? Because you're fucking racist.
Yeah, it's pretty much she's like just champions. This is what I have a problem with.
She's a racist commie. That's why we saw her when we were together for the Unfortunate One, and she's the only person to ever fucking mad dog me and give me a dirty look. Well, maybe not the only person.
I was gonna say
no. Okay, I was at Star Trek. I was at the Star Trek conventions with the I Stand with Vic shirt walking around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got a lot of dirty licks with that. But yeah, she was like the only person. Like she's standing next to me and just fucking mad dogging me. I'm all smiling at her, going,
"Look,
hi."
I don't have a problem with her outlet or anything. I don't have a problem with her at all. I like talking
she can exist.
to her.
I don't give a shit.
I like talking to her, but the thing is, her point of view comes from is set in stone. Whatever her real opinion is, she can't have one.
No, she can't.
She has to like a movie.
She is afraid of her 5 readers.
Well, but the thing is, like, I want her to be in the conversation.
I'll say, Chris.
Yeah. I want her to be in the conversation, but talk to people. I'll talk to her. I'll talk to anybody. I don't care. But, you know, there's like when she's not being very inclusive by not talking to you. Like, talk to you, hear your opinion, express her opinion, and have inclusivity of all opinions. Let's debate. But also, it's like, I think that her arguments are tainted by the fact that her opinion is decided before she sees the thing. You know what I mean? Because if identity is a part of the key creative positions, she has to like it and only say good things.
Exactly. Like Sinners would be a movie. I don't know. I had no expectation going into the movie, right?
Yeah.
I just like, probably, you know, everybody's saying they're liking it. We'll see. We'll go, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Ryan. I like Creed.
Yeah.
I think that's a good movie. I like it a lot, actually a lot. But Black Panthers, it's not the worst Marvel movie ever made, but it certainly ain't the fucking best, and it's
overrated.
Yeah, it's completely
overrated.
It's not the best Black Panther movie. That's Civil War, by far.
Yeah,
and he's actually better in Infinity War too. But I digress. But before we talk about Sinners, I want to talk about like seeing movies, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a critic, or more importantly, if you're going to vote on awards for movies, let's just say, I'm going to spitball here, Chris. For example, the most significant awards in Hollywood, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, that maybe you should watch the fucking movies.
Yes.
But apparently that hasn't been a rule.
Well, I'll say this. There's a way for them to monitor that you've seen the film. They get invited to screenings that they go to, you know, so they can check off. Literally, they'll check you off that you've attended a screening. There is an app that they use. We use a critics. It's called. I'm in the CCA.
Yep.
They have an app with all the nominees, and you have certain number of views when you log into the app. And you have to, it's really a pain in the ass. You have to do 2-factor authentication. I have to use the Authenticator app to put in a code tied to my phone and location to watch a movie. That's fine. But they can see not only if I've seen the film, how much of the movie I've actually seen. So it'll show the duration you viewed. You have these stats also on Vimeo. If you do work with Vimeo, you can see who watched it, how much they watched. So they can monitor this. I think it's kind of weird they have to say this, but too many people publicly were saying that they hadn't seen the films and voted anyways. At least see all 10 Best Picture nominees.
Here's the big scandalous takeaway that nobody's talking about, Chris. Every single fucking Best Picture is now tainted. Every single fucking award is now tainted because now we fucking know, we could have suspected, but now we fucking know that I'm going to say half the voters, and I'm feeling very comfortable about this. Half the voters didn't watch the shit they were voting on. Half the voters over decades.
You
decades.
know what I think?
So that taints the entire fucking show. The entire show is tainted. They have that accounting office, look at the votes and all that. Well, they weren't watching this shit. Amelia motherfucking Perez would have swept if those tweets hadn't come out, and I promise you half the fucking voters didn't watch that piece of shit movie that I watched twice.
By the way,
I'm never going to recover from that, by the way.
I suspect that is why the movie Moonlight won.
Yes.
The year that La La Land was like, people thought, I know La La Land was a better movie. I've seen Moonlight all of once. People voted on that movie because of the subject matter, not because of the movie itself, the quality of the movie. Did you ever see the movie Moonlight?
No, but at least I'm not going to call it Best Picture, because why would I watch Moonlight? It's just not my kind of movie. The only thing I know about it is the Oscar fiasco, which we now probably know was half the people not watching the fucking movie.
Well, I defy you to try to watch that film. I remember seeing it and saying, this is nominated for Best Picture. Why? Because of it. The subject matter is it's a black kid. We see him in different stages of life coming to terms with his homosexuality. Who's also a drug dealer and involved in things. And it's just,
God,
anyway.
they really want to make black men gay. They really are. Hollywood's really fucking obsessed with that, man. They're really obsessed with emasculating the black man. They
No, 100%.
Fucking weird little fetish.
That movie did it in the extreme. It's just, I remember seeing it and going, this will probably win because of the subject matter, not the film itself. So
no, but like this is let's read a little bit of this, okay?
Sure.
X-Ray Girl. I'm sure you covered it already. I'm sorry. I usually watch all Film Threat live streams and Versus. I watch this, but I've been a little busy. I'm catching up on everything. I apologize. If you, I know that you did a video on, and we'll talk about it in a second, on Hollywood becoming Detroit, which was a really good video, by the way. Oscar's new voting rule explained how the Academy plans to enforce mandatory viewing. This is unbelievable. This should be the biggest fucking scandal in Hollywood. Your big award show and people weren't watching the shit and everybody's just going, yeah. In a major shift, ladies and gentlemen, for Oscar voting protocol, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has announced that members will now be required to confirm they've watched all nominated films in a category before being allowed to vote in that race. Now, this sums up everything wrong with Hollywood, and they've been able to get away with this forever. Chris, you know this to be a fact more than me. This is the way the town works. It's generally pretty fucking lazy. It's a pretty and we're not talking about the below the line worker. I hate that term. The working class of Hollywood who actually work their ass off. I'm leaving you out of this. I'm talking about executives, actors, producers, the least amount of work they can do so they can get back to fucking butt chugging fucking cocaine off a hooker's ass on a yacht. The better. The less work, the better. This is why so much shit that would be like a slam dunk, like making a good Blade movie or making a good Star Wars movie or making Star Trek right, seems so difficult for them because they don't want to actually do the work. You know, there are very few Chris Nolans out there and the late, great David Lynch, who are craftsmen who actually, or Quentin Tarantino, when he fucking dives into a movie, he makes a fucking movie. Like, he loves everything about film. And they will give their heart and soul in something. Most people just want the adoration, want to go do their debaucherous things on the side and not really put in the work. That was the first thing that blew my fucking mind at Technicolor when I worked there, is how much money was wasted on bullshit. When if you just worked harder, you would have saved a bunch of money. You would have saved, and how little people cared. How little people cared. So the people voting on the most important award in Hollywood weren't watching the movies. You're like, no surprise there. Well, that's why so much shit gets fucked up. And by the way, they were able to get away with it before because they had a lot of auteurs. They had a lot of very talented people working in industry, and they were making so much money it could cover up for all the incompetence. And that is not the case anymore. Yep. That is not the case anymore. And you wonder why nobody gives a fuck about the Oscars. Demi Moore should have won Best Actress.
Yes.
And it's because, you know what? They probably didn't want to watch the body horror movie. That was it. They heard it's body horror and they didn't want to watch it, and they didn't watch it.
Yep.
She was legit great in that movie.
Yeah.
The initiative aimed at strengthening the integrity and credibility of the awards process combines digital tracking through an Academy screening room with what Chris just mentioned, which they could have done at any time, right? Chris, what Chris just brought up.
They used to send out DVDs. Now it's all digital.
Yep. Screening room with members reporting viewings, building on structure already familiar to the Academy voters. Now, do they discuss like getting rid of people? Like
they have not. But I don't know. I don't know what's the penalty.
The penalty should be you're not allowed to vote on it. You're done.
That's I think should be the penalty.
That should be the penalty. You're done. Beginning with the 98th Academy Award. Hey, it only took them 100 award shows to get there here, folks, to make people watch the fucking movies. 100. Ballots during the final voting phase will only unlock for members who have verified they've watched all nominated films in a given category. I'm going to be fair here, though. The movies they've pretty much lined up have all sucked.
Right.
But pretty much they've all sucked because nobody's watching them, and they're basing it on politics, whatever actor they like, what one they don't like. Again, I watched Amelia Perez twice. I had to watch it twice to review it. Okay. That's just how it goes. I have to go over it again, take notes, blah, blah, blah. That movie was dog shit. It was not good. It was not it's not even a good B movie.
It would be a good John Waters movie.
If John Waters directed it, maybe, and it was like in that dark humor.
Yeah.
The concept. You're talking about the concept. Yes, the concept will work as a John Waters movie, but Repo the Genetic Opera was a better movie. Was legitimately a better movie. But from Best Picture and acting races to costume design and the newly introduced award for casting. How about stuntmen? Like stuntmen and women should get an award. I think that's long overdue.
Okay, this casting award I think is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's also who gets the award? The casting director. Also, the casting director can find people but doesn't have ultimate say. The director, producers, and the studio do. So do they get it's a dumb award. I hope they don't. I hope they award that off camera, like at the part of the technical.
Will catering start to get an award?
I know it's stupid. That's a dumb award.
Like stuntmen, good. That's dumb.
Stuntmen, I like. I like that one.
That's long overdue.
Although stuntmen, I've spoken to them, they don't really like to be known. They don't like to be public. They like sort of the magic there that, oh yeah, that actor really did it, but only they know. They're not really public about that.
From films viewed outside the platform at a guild or academy screening, festival, theatrical showing, or private event, members must submit a simple online form stating when and where they saw the film. And I think there's like questions they should answer about the plot, like basic ones to prove they've seen it. These forms operate in an honor system. There you go. Well, they're still not going to watch shit. A practice the Academy has already used for years in specialty categories such as international feature, animation feature, documentary, and 3 short races. In other words, this process isn't new. It's merely expanding to include the rest of the Oscar ballot. Okay, like why it's happening. The goal seems clear. Reduce what's known as what's
coattail?
Coattail. Okay. I'm like, what? I'm looking at it. So coattail voting. All right. That makes sense. I'm dumb. Where voters support a nominee based on reputation, buzz, and familiarity, often without having seen all the competing films. Amelia Perez. This can result in overlooked performances and artisan achievements that simply didn't get enough exposure, or a movie that was, here's a trans person and we're really behind the transmission issue. Let's propel this piece of shit to 13 nominations.
Yeah.
By requiring a full viewing of all the contenders in the category, the Academy hopes to promote more informed, equitable voting, especially for smaller films that might not have a massive marketing budget. That's enough. Chris is right. This came out because a bunch of idiots anonymously said, I didn't even watch Dune.
Yeah. Well, they were honest.
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't mind that. But I mean, they're going honor system. We'll see. On the app, they can see if they've seen it, But, there's other ways, obviously, going to screenings, just paying to see a movie, So, yeah, have them fill out a form. Good. But this should, people do tend to vote based on some sort of advancing an agenda, right? Which is how Moonlight won. Is a very gay movie that emasculates Black men, and that's something that people want to push or champion. And I don't think it even, I don't know, I would not have considered it, and that was a shock that won. So
yes, and that was a shocking Academy Awards because they had the flub.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oopsie doopsie.
Alex, I said the wrong thing.
Alex Darby has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you. Alex Darby has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. And
wow.
Our next watch party will be Mobland. We'll just pick it up the next episode to make up for Daredevil. Oh my God. Thank you, my angel. Oh my gosh. She did not give me an angelic look right there.
Oh man. I need an angel. I need an angel to bring me coffee.
Holy
need
shit.
A refill.
That's good. That's good.
I don't even have coffee.
You don't have coffee in Canada? Well, fuck, you're in Canada. It's your fault. Why don't you have coffee? Do you have a coffee machine?
The coffee maker's too far and I'm tired. I'm sick.
Oh, you're sick because you get sick every time you travel.
I know. He calls me and I go, hello. And he goes, you're sick again?
Every time she travels.
Take your vitamins.
She's allergic to America.
Well,
it's so hard to deal with all the freedom. I don't know how you guys deal with it.
I love it. It's great. Fremont Street. Let's go. That's freedom.
I didn't see any tassels on Fremont.
No, it was a little too chilly for the tassels this
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But it was fun. Fremont Street was fun. Yes.
Yeah.
James Zabersky for $30.99 Australian says, when you've started a new podcast YouTube channel, you want to shorter, more compact 15-minute short form videos. Are you better off having a separate channel for it, or it doesn't make any real difference in the beginning? The only thing I would advise is if you're going to start like doing shorts, if that's what you're going to start with, you would have to do a separate video or separate channel for that. Shorts and live streaming and long form or 15-minute videos they're not the same subs. And they're actually all 3 different audiences. I've been able to make streaming and videos work because I've done them both from the beginning. So it just depends on the channel. You end up making kind of your own algorithm as time goes on, once you find your voice and everything. That's what I've found. But if you want your channel to grow, you have to do 8 to 15-minute videos. Some of them can reach 20, 25 minutes. Some of them can be 6 minutes once in a while. But that's what grows your channel, and that's what gets real interaction is that. I'd also recommend doing live streams, but in the beginning, definitely when they're done, unlist them and archive them somewhere else. Because that's just the way the algorithm is. YouTube tells me they're 2 different algorithms. That's horseshit. WG has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thanks, WG. See you at Cosmic Summit, sir. Chris, just real quick, because you already did a video. We don't even need to pull the article. I've read the article. You read the article.
What?
Hollywood becoming Detroit. You're from Detroit.
Yes.
How did you feel about that article?
I thought it was dead on and it was very dead on with its assessment. Look, I wasn't really around for the riots in Detroit in the 60s, but I saw the decline. I mean, I was born 65. So I lived just outside of Detroit. I grew up outside like around 11 Mile, if you know Detroit. Detroit starts at 8 Mile. I lived at 11 Mile ish area. And in the late 60s, early 70s, I saw like it got bad. Like basically everyone moved away and they didn't move back and the city was in decline. It was a great city before that, I was told. And it's becoming that in LA mainly because of employment. Like there is a lot of talent here. If you want to make a movie, LA has everyone you need in every capacity. Cinematographers, hair, makeup, costume, wardrobe, set, production design, everything is here, but the work isn't here. They're not making movies here. It's too expensive. So they're making it in Atlanta, Canada, name another place that has a tax incentive somewhere in Europe. They'll go there to save money, and it's not a small amount of savings. So it's like the car companies when they started, look, we're going to make cars somewhere else because we can't do it in Detroit. It's cheaper in Mexico or whatever. And so that's what's happening to the film industry. Hollywood's not the center, probably the center of decision making, but not production. So decision making for Hollywood will remain here. But I got to say, it's a mass exodus of people because the jobs they're just leaving. I mean, look, it was my friend Jim Agnew, he sent me some really interesting, I'll find it and I'll bring it up. But he was saying that I'll give you the statistics.
Yeah.
The stat is crazy. So 6,000 WGA members make at least 45 grand a year to qualify for health insurance. A quarter of the writers are out of jobs. This is it's just everything is down. It's nuts. So even the writers that are working are making the bare minimum to keep their health care. 45 grand. How do you live on 45 grand in the LA area is crazy. It's so expensive to live here. I mean, you must have a dual income or roommates or live in a small apartment like myself. So, I don't know. It's just the industry is leaving and everyone I know that worked on the regular is out of work and changing their careers. It just saying, I don't know, I'll go to Arizona or just do some other kind of job. So it's very sad to see.
Yeah. I was talking to AJ I don't want to say too much, I don't know how much of his backstory he wants known out there, but he was talking about how Hollywood never really recovered from the 2008 writer's strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's not wrong because the problems that were not dealt with in that strike and they talked about it. I talked to one of the WGA negotiators, thanks to Robert Burnett, and it was nice enough to talk to me. And I got nothing against the guy. He's out to fight for his union. You guys know how I feel about unions. But he even mentioned that stuff that wasn't really dealt with there was dealt with. This one was a long time coming. It still makes it the worst time strike in history. And you just talked about the WGA members, 66,000 of them. Yeah. Your union sold you out. Yeah. It sold you out because it called for a strike where I was told by some people a lot of people were against it. And it just, it alluded to maybe they fixed the vote. I'm just going to come out and say it. Now, the person who told me that didn't say that. I'm extrapolating on my speculation, Chris, that they might have fucked with the vote a little bit because everybody knew this strike was going to cost people jobs. And the people in power, the people running your union, they're still going to be working for your union. They've got nothing on the line. They were having people come in and strike who weren't even part of the union, hoping that they dangling the carrot that you might be able to come in the union if you come and walk the lines for us, which they never intended to do. It's really dirty shit. And 40%. Production is down close to 40. That's almost half. I'm not very good at math, but I'm thinking that's close to half within LA. And a bunch of people said that was going to happen. Said they're going to downsize. There's going to be less shows. They're going to license more shows from other countries. And there's going to be a lot less work. So those mandatory writing rooms and getting rid of the stuff that Netflix was doing, which was shady, by the way. Let's not pretend that's not shady either, doing those fake writers' rooms. I forgot what they called them, but they weren't really paying people for their ideas. That's fucking shady. But you also, have Taylor Sheridan's out there go, fuck writers' rooms. I'm just going to write my own shit. I don't need a fucking writer's room, and So you're not a Hollywood writer anymore if you're full-time Uber driver. You're an Uber driver. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to make money. You got to pay your bills. I got friends who are full-time Uber drivers, and they're perfectly fucking happy doing it, by the way. I think it's great to have that option out there that you can deliver food or something like that as a side gig whenever you want to make some extra money. I think that's fucking awesome. By the way, the people that the unions support want to destroy that gig economy. They absolutely want to destroy it. Unions want to destroy the gig economy that union members are now having to rely on to actually pay their fucking bills because their union never protected them. And by the way, if your solution is a union for the gig economy, get fucked. Okay, you'll get the same result. You'll end up not having an Uber job. So that's the problem. By the way, there's enough laws on the books in every state to cover anything other than at will. And you know what? You should be at will as an employee. An employer, if you suck at your job, that employer should be able to fire you whenever the fuck they want. Period. And also keep in mind that, you put in 20 years, 10 years at a company, they don't give a fuck about you. So, get what you can out of them and then try to find something better. That's what I did. I understood pretty early on that the dealership, one dealership I worked at, actually gave a shit. Most of them didn't. And that was, as long as that was understood, I'm like, fine, I'll just leave whenever the fuck I want. When I find some more money, I'm gone. I'm loyal to my family, my bank account. That's where, we're talking about cars and selling parts. But the union fucked you and it fucked the industry. And it doesn't help that the WGA supported all this DEI bullshit that really diluted and destroyed the talent pool that affected your entire industry. What else is there to say now other than how'd that strike work out for you?
Yeah.
Not very well. Oh, well. And people will find, a Minecraft will come out and there'll be a movie and it's like, we're back. No, you're not. You're just not.
Well, they got to fast track the Skibbity Toilet movie.
They really do.
Always felt that when you look at the numbers, why is that not coming out from Universal or some big company?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Warner Brothers, stupid company, but they've had a couple of big hits so far. Sinners is a Warner Brothers movie. That's a decent size hit.
For original IP. That's,
original.
But inspired by, I'm cool with it, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. Yeah. That's not a bad thing.
Whatever. That's not the big deal.
So before we get to Chris, we'll talk about Andor.
I gotta get more coffee though.
Go get some coffee.
Okay, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, dude, go get some coffee. I'm good. I can.
Okay.
Man.
Alan, I'll be back.
This is how you do it. You go to a soup, or you just start bullshitting. You go, "How you doing, X-ray girl? You still sick?" Sick.
I hate myself.
So, Mrs. Nerdrotic and I went on a little date to go see Sinners because I wanted to see it. I was very curious because I was told this is the movie that killed Blade because conceptually it was similar. And I'm not gonna say I was surprised like how well made it was. Like, it's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. There's still a couple of like story flaws in it, and some of the I saw what Ryan Coogler was trying to do as far as scene transition, and some of it felt like very, very just choppy. Right, like we went from one scene to another, and it didn't like. I'm like, whoa, why are we? But those are like minor complaints. The cinematography is legit. It is like a very well shot movie. It's a pretty looking movie. So like Coogler's got some chops in that department. Definitely some chops. There's no good white people, but they really explain like you're in a segregated South. You're in a black town. It would be very unusual for a white person to be in this. It's not even a town. It's like next to it's a sharecropper in the 30s, and two twins basically are running from Chicago. They kind of say they made it big, but what they did is they ripped off the Irish mob and the Italian mob, and they blamed each other. So you don't really see much of that. And they come into town and they buy a building that a juke joint. They wanted to have a little blues joint for themselves, where there'll be some gambling and whatever. And they buy it from a guy who is Klan or used to be Klan. And when they buy it, they basically say, okay, here's the money. Ever see you on our property again, we'll fucking shoot you all dead. Because it would be a thing for the Klan to sell a couple of black guys some land and then come back and just take it back and kill them. And it's very much From Dusk Till Dawn. It is setting up. It's set with to the background of blues music, and some mythology about basically music can draw on ancestors from the past, from the future. If it's the right instrument, the right singer. They talk about like through mythology, like where this, I forgot what the name of it was. It was, I can't remember what there's, the Irish have a name for it. The Africans, West Africans have a name for it. And I think they said the Asians too, cause there's Asian people in it too. I can't remember what the name of the deity was. Basically it's a singer that can draw on ancestors, but it also brings in that also invites in dark forces, which are the vampires. And it turns into a vampire movie, and I liked it. I had a good time watching it. It could be choppy at times, like I said, but it really Michael B. Jordan is really fucking good playing two parts, playing twin brothers in it. I like blues music quite a bit, so that was pretty cool. And I thought it was pretty good. And, maybe Ryan Coogler should just do this and, fuck Marvel and Black Panther and everything, because Wakanda Forever sucked. It was fucking terrible.
He should never make another Marvel movie.
No.
Stay away.
No. Because I think he has legit talent. Like, legit. Like, not just a guy putting together a film. Like in this one, you see like his vision of and his the cinematography was great.
He's a real director.
Yes.
He's a real director. And the worst movies he's made were for Marvel. Right. I know. Like, just do your own thing, and Creed, that first Creed movie.
Yeah. I love Creed.
That was great. So it was a great,
but like the ending you had, I agree with. I think the end, it's tacked on, and they should have they did weave it into the story, and they tried to make the Klan like more evil than the vampires. But the way the vampires like tried to lure everybody out of the building was really good. Yeah.
Oh,
it was
I like that.
I think it for one, it was the bad vampire was white, but like his argument was really fucking good. Yeah. For like, if you're considering it at the time, he's talking to a black woman, a black woman, an Asian woman, and Michael B. Jordan as one character. I won't ruin everything, but he's basically luring, like, life's never going to be fair to you guys here. You're never going to get a fair shake. You will with us, and you'll live forever.
Yeah.
You'll be family with us. And the vampires all share memories.
Yeah.
So the white vampires be able to like speak perfect Mandarin. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I do like the sort of, following the lore of vampires. And then he didn't change much. I love that he whole in you have to be invited in. That was like a big part of the story.
It was. And the main Irish bad vampire, like you get a little background on him where and it really goes over how like the Irish were fucked over too.
Yeah.
So like, I think that was pretty good that even though they made him the bad guy, like when they're saying the Lord's Prayer, he's all, oh, I heard that when they were stealing my dad's land. It really still gives me comfort, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. But that scene felt where they kind of blew it. Chris, I don't want to give, when he sat down to have the cigarette, he should have just died there instead of doing the act afterwards.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the act afterwards, because that would have been like, okay, I'm done with this, and I'm ready to move on. But that's all I'll say. But I thought the ending was, I like the ending. I thought that was pretty good.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I thought that was really good. I was
in the present day or present.
Yeah. That was really good.
Cool.
So I could recommend go see the film on a matinee or whatever. But as far as movies that have come out this year that I've seen A Better Man and this movie are the two best movies I've seen in cinemas this year.
Yeah, it's a short list.
It's a short list and a low bar. Okay, but I liked it.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure there'll be complaints, but like with the no good white people, but like I don't know, I'm not a fan of the Klan, so I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, but I think it was
despite
like
what some people might say.
I saw in a recent like Jeremy Johns video where he talked about where he reviewed Sinners, and he says like every movie these days it's like either TDS, Trump, girl boss feminism, or racism.
Yes, those three things.
Those three things, and you kind of get it's. I'll just say this: it's tiresome.
It
say
gets
something new.
Really fucking tiresome. But
say something new. If you talk about TDS, but talk about it from the other side, like, hey, maybe we've gone too far calling this guy the worst names ever, and he actually isn't those things. Like maybe have something new to say. My problem with always tackling those three things, nothing new is ever said. Racism is bad, and people are racist, are bad and evil, and deserve everything bad that happens to them. Women are badasses and can just beat up anybody, and guys are dumb, and I roll my eyes, and they don't deserve respect, and fuck all men. That's boring. None of these, there's no nuance or something new to say about any three of those things. It's tiresome, or as would say, boring. I can't do it as loud.
Yeah,
as
it gets
you
so
can.
much, but it's 1930s
boring.
Mississippi in this movie. But it's not done as heavy-handed as you would think, because the only thing they talk about is like that freedom. Is like they have freedom for like the whole point of it was like being free to like play my blues.
I'll say one last thing about Ryan Coogler. He is a master at world building, which is not the whole world. If it does well, this could be a franchise, another franchise.
He does vampires really well in this. Like, they're not freaking gay, sparkly fucking vampires, Shad. They're like vampires. Yeah. And I guess the little twist is there's a little bit of your soul, unlike, Buffy, your soul is completely replaced by the demon when you're a vampire. In this one, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, your soul's still trapped in there with the demon. And the only way to free him is to kill him. So your soul is like being punished watching this, because there's a moment where a human character dies and one of the vampires gets upset.
Yeah.
So there's still like so I think that's a good little twist on it.
And I like the visual of their eyes in the dark
Yeah.
are like a dog's eyes in the dark or a wolf. Like it's I like that. There were little he
Oh, the
did his
firefly
own,
scene where you think it's fireflies in the background,
but
it's
it's not.
eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. That was
It's
cool.
so the little twists on what we already know about vampires. And he didn't push it too far, like sparkly in the daylight. That's stupid, but made it interesting. I just want to see Hollywood, if they make a Hollywood movie and they comment on those three topics. And again, I didn't bring it up. Jeremy Johns did. I'm just saying I agree with him. These are things that Hollywood feels compelled to make say the exact same thing about every time it comes up. It ruined the movie Mickey 17.
Yes, it
That
did.
whole thing.
Absolutely.
Like, it's
And no, Jeremy's
completely
right
ruined
about
that.
this. It's like
Yeah.
it's I call it the Mexican food is basically the same 4 or 5 ingredients variations of the 4 or
Yeah.
5, and it's fucking brilliant. This is the opposite. Woke is the same 3 ingredients rotated all the fucking time. Daredevil was fucking ruined by it. Daredevil Born Again definitely had all fucking 3 in it, and it fucking ruined the fucking show. So and Mickey 17 was completely like something conceptually that would have been fun. I was thinking, hey, maybe this will be like Moon,
Yeah.
Moon's great, by the way.
Yeah.
Moon's a great movie. So yeah, that's why we're not going to get like fun, semi high concept, but quirky, and irreverent sci-fi, which I fucking love. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Doctor Who back in the day, because now they have to fill it full of shit, just like Doctor Who, the most recent Doctor Who.
That's probably a video worth making. I mean, he did it. I was watching Jeremy John's Sinners review, and he brought this up, and I'm like, oh my God, you crystallize everything that's wrong with Hollywood is these 3 topics, feeling compelled to always comment the same about these topics. It ruins every movie that it appears in, which is nearly most Hollywood stuff or recent Hollywood stuff. I feel like the movies that resist the temptation to make comment on either all 3 or all 3, are the ones that have a chance to be different and interesting. Like a movie like Bob Trevino Likes It, which is or The Legend of Ochi, which is out Friday with Willem Dafoe. Movies that kind of resist that. I'm not saying it will make a movie great to not, just because they ignore that doesn't mean a movie is great because of that. But to ignore it means at least you're being different. And also, by the way, I feel like movies that, feel compelled to do that will feel dated. They will feel very dated in a short amount of time, because it's just like I roll my eyes when it happens. It just like there are moments in Andor season 2 that do that. Oh my God, there is a speech, you'll get to it. I think it's episode 5, where a character loses her life, and she is lectured by another woman. A white guy is lectured by this woman. It is the most cringe lecture, and I just like here. I wish I could play it, or I should have written it down. It's so bad. It's like this is modern stuff. We haven't gotten to Andor season 2 yet. I don't know if anyone cares.
Well, I'm gonna watch it because I promised
Yeah.
Mahler. So, I mean,
Is Mahler a fan of season 1?
Mahler likes season 1. Yes,
He'll love season 2. I think he will love it, because season 1 I thought was boring and meandering until the very end, and it was like, okay, but season 2 they had a plan. I thought that was very smart. 3 episodes, which comprise 1 year. It starts out BBY 4, counting on 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And it's 3 episodes. So I watching them as a set of 3, it's like watching a movie, because some episodes are 50 minutes, some are 40 minutes, but it comes out to about a movie. And it starts off slow. You might just, I don't know, people may have seen the first 3. I won't be spoilery here, but it really does actually build to something characters do pay off. We know how it ends. It leads directly into Rogue One, and it really Andor, actually Cassian Andor as a character is interesting this season. He has come to he has knowledge and is a leader and sees kind of the chaos of the people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. And so he changes and grows in this, whereas last season I thought he was kind of meandering and was there are like really good payoffs in it that lead to a mystery behind what the hell's happening behind the scenes. We know what it's leading to, which is the construction of the Death Star, but and the thing is, it avoids the only character it gets really good after episode 5. I'm sorry to say, and episode 7 is a banger. But Bail Organa is a real character in it, and it resists. There's no Vader. No, the Emperor is mentioned, but it doesn't do the key jangling. So I'll say I'll say this. Season 2 convinced me. Like, I enjoyed it. It's a satisfying conclusion. So it might be the best thing that Disney has done with Star Wars, but it's too little too late. Too little too late. I think everyone would agree movie-wise, Rogue One is the best of the Disney Star Wars movies, right? Of Disney Star Wars, Rogue One, yes. Okay, that's that one, the best of them. I'm not even saying Rogue One I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's the best of the movies. And Andor season 2 really it pays off. It's a slow burn, which I would argue Star Wars was never about slow burn or espionage or conspiracy, but they do it really well. And I think Mueller will be like, now I understand why people like Andor season 1. It's like, okay, I get it now. This is not Star Wars. It's its own thing. It's more serious take. And I'll say this also, side note, production wise, the best looking Star Wars thing ever made by Disney. It looks expensive from a production design standpoint, from so many practical sets and effects. The which they actually posted this scene where he steals a TIE fighter, like all that, like you get the scale of the ships. It's a full prop. Like it plays a part in the beginning for the 3 episodes that were up last night. Like it's the best looking thing. It looks better than the sequel trilogy effects. Looks great. And yeah, so I'm surprised about my opinion about it. And Alan and I were texting while we were watching it, and just very surprising. Now, I will say this. I think it's like better binged. Like, I would actually recommend, don't watch it. I would binge the whole thing. There's something about that whole binging week to week model. Like, I think there are things that work better binged, right? Because there's so much to keep track of. And also, like, I thought back, like, some about this reminded me of Lost when it was good, early seasons. Even when Lost was good, there were characters I didn't give a fuck about. Like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. I don't care about this storyline, And that's how I felt about parts of Andor. But yeah, there's some cringe stuff mixed in there as well. So make of that what you will, Gary.
Gotcha.
I hope for Mahler's sake, you take the time for season 2. Season 1, I can't get behind, but season 2 being the payoff in a real clever way, the way they structured it, building to the Battle of Yavin, and Yavin plays a part in it. So, and you see very little jangling keys. I really not much.
Impressive. I'm actually good with not jangling keys. Yeah, I think we'll find out. Right now,
You'll find out.
It's still Blandor for me.
Blandor. No, season 1 is Blandor.
Blandor.
I can't defend it. But
it is Star Wars minus all the fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like well made and everything. I get it, but it's just minus all the fun. It is a technical manual.
Well, I'll
You
say
know?
this: the fun still isn't there. A couple things maybe, but I'll say that there are stakes. It's leading to something, and it's there are characters that I mean, don't want to give too much away, but you know, this series will end and characters meet their fate.
But you're gonna have to watch it where it's leading to Return of the Jedi and not to All Roads Lead to Jake Skywalker, which ruins just about everything. You watch that's new. It just does.
Yeah, I would say there's nothing that it connects to the sequels, like zero. But you know, it's a in between prequels and OT, so it's all about that.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, we'll find out because I'm going to watch it because if we're going to talk about it, I need to watch it. I need to watch it.
I'm really curious what Mauler thinks. Mauler is.
We'll find out. I talked to him briefly before he watched it. Before he watched it. I haven't talked to him since. So I will. But I have a lot of catching up to do because I'm like the one who kept on telling Mauler to watch Mobland, and now he's ahead of me. So I need to catch up on that. Mobland is good. Mobland is good. Guy Ritchie can make TV shows. He's going to be the British Taylor Sheridan. I can't wait for The Gentleman season 2. Fucking Gentleman's so good. Have you seen The Gentleman, Chris?
I have not. I know.
No. I have to go watch RRR so I have a leg to stand on, basically.
There you go.
And then
It's
I can say,
okay.
okay, now you got to watch The Gentleman because The Gentleman will be the best TV show you've watched in the last 2 or 3 years, easily. He froze.
I will watch it.
Yeah.
100%.
Noons has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Noons, my lady. And David Boucher has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you. Shlomi for 20 says, what are your top 3 favorite Marvel characters and the best? Oh my God, this is like, we have to circle back to this one next week because I'd have to think about it. Well, I'll give you some off the top of my head. And their best moments in comics, mine are Spider-Man, Nightcrawler, and Because of You, Silver Surfer. I read all of the 1968 and listened to the Ultimate audiobook, which is it's amazing for considering how it's read. Okay, God, there's so many great. My 3 favorite Marvel characters are Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and Spider-Man.
Yeah, legit.
Daredevil.
Hey, did you see Gary Thunderbolts was screened yesterday?
I heard it was screened yesterday. Somebody emailed me, and if you're out there, yes, I want your review.
And I actually know what the post-credit scene is too.
Could you put it in the private chat?
Yeah, I will. And by the way, the consensus was it feels like a Marvel movie made before Endgame. It has that feel before Endgame. It's not like a Phase 4.
I saw a lot of motherfuckers with their early reactions saying that, and I'm like, well, that sounds familiar. And they've said that about 3 different movies before, and it's some of the same fucking people. So I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Because early reactions, I mean, they always were stupid, but they should be dead forever after Snow White. Like, they shouldn't even be allowed. It feels like, but it's fucking Florence Pugh. It's a Florence Pugh movie, isn't it? Like, she leads the entire fucking movie. I got nothing against her personally. I just don't see her as an imposing Black Widow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Are you reading that?
I am reading that.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So a direct connect.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's about time they connected something.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So those are my top 3 favorite characters. Favorite moments. Oh God, there's so many with Daredevil. I'd have to think about it. I'd seriously have to think about it. One of my favorite moments with Spider-Man is when he figures out a way to beat the Juggernaut. Because Spider-Man's fucking badass. Ball Gag Love Song has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Wouldn't that sound something like it sound like Ryan's Uber driver.
Oh my god.
Did you hear that story, Chris?
What?
Ryan
What
had
happened?
like a deaf, retarded Uber driver. It took him like
30 minutes to drive.
30 minutes, and we were sitting down to eat. I was a little late, but he was later. He was just like, the fucking retarded deaf Uber, and he's screaming it in fucking restaurant, which is hilarious. Fucking Ryan. It was vintage.
Oh
Ryan.
my god.
Mr.
I think
Burns.
he was hangry too.
He was hangry. I was too. Mr. Burns for $20. You want movies with no message? Black Bag and Warfare were both really good, rather short 90-minute films. I want to see Warfare for sure. Warfare is the best war film since Black Hawk Down. Have you seen them? I haven't, but I will be seeing Warfare. That's one I will be seeing. Black Bag, I'll wait for streaming. I know Steven Soderbergh won't be happy about that, Chris, but I will wait for streaming. Real quick, I do want to acknowledge again that talked about on BBC yesterday that RIP, the hashtag RIP Doctor Who, which all of you championed many years ago, is canon, is officially canon in the show. Is officially canon in the show. Did we ever get that clip, X-Ray Girl?
Checking. I don't see it, but let me check all.
You just have to take my word for it. It was a scene
Yes.
where the Doctor goes meta, and he walks through a TV with his companion, and he sees some Doctor Who fans watching the show. And he mentioned something about the plot, and the body positivity woman in with the wheelchair to make sure all the boxes were checked in the scene goes to her phone, Chris, and types in hashtag RIP Doctor Who. And like mentions it out loud. And I fucking, when I heard somebody like shot me on Twitter, said, hey, your hashtag just made canon. I'm like, what? No, it didn't. Then I found the Screen Rant article. Then I watched the episode. I'm like, holy fucking shit. That'd be like somebody saying MCU in a fucking Marvel movie, dude. It's crazy. It is like, fucking crazy.
It's like you with the Nerdrotic is toxic. You know? Like, just make a series of videos with that title.
Oh, we are. We already are. We've already started doing that. And we will.
I love it.
We will. Gonna lean into the meme because I got no choice. Ian So Forth has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for Fitty. Ian, thank you. Eddie Brock, 9043 for $249 says, Gary, please tell us what you heard about Neil Gaiman. So I can't find it. X-Ray Girl, could you have Lady Grabe? This is going to be a tough. I can't even remember what the name of the headline is. There's a lot of Substacks about Neil Gaiman by women who orbited him, but it's the newest one. It's a new one that I read.
Heard you
yeah.
On Real BBC.
And I'm not even going to get into fucking details. I'm not, because it's getting darker as things go on. And I mean darker. And I don't know if any of it's true. He could be completely fucking innocent. This could be a bunch of women who used him, who it was reciprocal. They knew it was an exchange. Right. It was transactional. Suck my dick and I might make you a better writer. Now, if you're a woman who fucking believes that, that's on you. Okay, that's on you. And I don't consider that a crime or anything. That is two adults making a fucking decision. But Neil Gaiman is also a male feminist. And anybody who proclaims to be a male feminist, if you're a woman, you should walk the opposite way as fast as you can, because that is the worst dude you want to be around ever. Because there ain't no such thing as a male feminist. Okay, I'm just fucking gonna tell you that right now. Okay, so she's very honest in this, and it just popped up on my phone and my feed, and I read the whole fucking thing. And she, just to put it in the simplest terms, she completely understood that it was transactional. She completely understood all this shit was going on. She completely understood that she looked the other way because she needed that transactional relationship with Neil Gaiman. And once it was safe for her to say something when somebody else came out, she felt free. She felt free. Yeah. After looking away the whole time. It's the same thing with Harvey Weinstein. All these motherfuckers knew the whole time. You're complicit then. Fuck you. You're complicit if you knew and you didn't say something this bad. If it's true, if charges, like I said, I pontificated, are charges going to get filed on Neil Gaiman like Russell Brand? I'm guessing not. But there's a lot of stories. It gets really dark in that article. There's I don't even want to say what was alluded to in there. But yeah, she just basically says, yeah, I knew the shit was going on, but I didn't say anything. Now I feel bad about it, and now it's safe to okay that. It's like, fuck you. It's like, fuck you. If it's true. If it's not true, it's even worse. It's even worse. And I don't know what to believe, and I don't really care. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't like fucking Neil Gaiman. I don't care. But we've also seen a lot of dudes destroyed with bullshit. We have to keep that in mind and always keep that in mind. As much as we won't like somebody because of they're a male feminist or because of TDS, they still deserve due process and they still deserve to work, especially if, and they deserve defense against bullshit like this. Did they invite it in? Yes. Yeah. Were they debaucherous? Yes. Did Neil Gaiman admitted sleeping with a nanny? She was over 18. Okay. Like barely. Like that minute. I wouldn't have done it. But it's to the letter of the law, it's legal. But you can also point out the hypocrisy of Mr. Male Feminists out there. And those who preach the most have the most to hide.
Jeremy Griggs said that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I think it's 100% true. When I see people overcompensating, whether it's like, ranting about racism or whatever, it's like, well, maybe they did something in the past. They're kind of trying to make up for it.
That's often the case. Look at iDubbbz. Look at that whole fucking whatever that sphere was called in YouTube back in the day when they were dropping all the edgy shit and all of a sudden they just become ultra woke.
Yeah.
Do you think that's natural, or do you think a bunch of agents who wanted to continue the money machine going, it would be much safer for you on YouTube to toe the line and go with this shit? And that's what they did. They sold out. Or they were always like that. I don't know. I don't care. I wasn't watching iDubbbz back in the day or Content Cop. I knew of it, but I might have, but I wasn't like regularly watching it. All I know is that sphere, that former edgy trolley sphere, are all fucking towing the line.
Mm-hmm.
All towing the line. Anakmamon for $15 says, I just finished DS9 and Picard season 3. All the Kurtzman crap drags season 3 down, but it's worth it. It's worth it to see all of them on the D one last time. I have officially seen all Star Trek. That's worth watching. Now on to something else I haven't seen. I think I'm going to start watching Deadwood now. Oh, you're going to love Deadwood. Deadwood is fucking great. I love Westerns and I love Shakespeare, so I'll love this. Yes, you will. Anyway, enough about me. Back to the show. Picard season 3 is quite an achievement considering like how much baggage it has on it, right?
Yeah.
And
no kidding.
Lots of fucking baggage. And it really tries to undo, like, it undoes the Borg bullshit, and even clowns it. And then Q. It undoes the damage to Q, which was like, thank God. That's one of my favorite fucking Star Trek characters. But it's not perfect. You know what is perfect though? Is oh my God, Unification. Star Trek Unification.
Yes.
That is perfect. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful requiem for Star Trek. A goodbye to Star Trek, the Star Trek that will never return, but we've got plenty of love. The Star Trek that we love. It is its swan song. And it is gorgeous. And yes, it's made with a little bit of AI, but it's also Sam Witwer, right? With playing Kirk. And it's really done well. And no real dialogue.
Nope.
And man, it fixes fucking generations, dude. It like one of the things before Kurtzman that I hated before Kurtzman, that was the thing I hated the most about all of Star Trek was Kirk dying in Generations. I fucking hated it with every fiber in my being. And I was so thankful that Shatner had a ghostwriter do the series The Return, which I love, by the way. Absolutely loving the books. That made me feel a little better, but this kind of puts the cherry on top. Eddie Brock 9043 for $5.99. Mon Mothma drunk and raving at her daughter's wedding, and Bix attempting to be friends graped by an Imperial officer is everything I wanted in Andor season 2.
Yeah, that stuff was bullshit. I almost pieced out. Alan and I were like, these first 3 episodes are not off to a good start. It's sort of the opposite of Marvel, where the first few episodes you're like, hey, this is it. And then it doesn't stick
And then it
the
goes,
landing.
Boo. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, but this one was sort of rolling my eyes, and then it gets really good. It gets really good.
It gets really, really good, I hope.
Yeah.
It needs to just get kind of good for me.
Yeah. But again, like the bar is low. So it's too late, too little, too late. It's not going to save the brand. It will not move the needle.
No, I don't think so.
It's not for kids. The show is not for kids at all.
Eric K for $2. Chris, Gary, and X-Ray Girl had my meat in Vegas. It's true. He brought some meat. Eric,
had Eric's meat. Thank you, Eric. Your meat saved me.
Thank you. Dude, it really did, because I had nothing to eat that whole night.
Same. It was
Kai
great.
Snell for $10. Oh, hell yeah. John Starfighter. He's literally me. Let's go. Eddie Brock 9043 for $2.49. Also, Nurse What? See you next Tuesday. Back in Andor season 2. Lots of See You Next Tuesday references on Az's channel. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to demonetize myself, although I probably demonetized him by using the C word multiple times.
I love that.
Not sorry. T1S for $5 says, hey, Gary, know where I could find season 3 of Daredevil and/or season 1 of The Punisher on Blu-ray 4K? And all I found is looking for is DVDs. Blu-ray is the best you're going to get, and it's going to be a bootleg from China. So I have season 3 in Blu-ray, but I had to buy it like as all 3 seasons, and it's just really just an compressed version from China. Still waiting for people to get a little better at the bootleg 4K discs. It's possible. There's plenty of room. You just don't put any special features. Get on it. A. Marcellus for $10. With the prequels, at least we knew Anakin and the Jedi were going to fall. The execution was just iffy. The sequels killed the Skywalker and Solo bloodline. They killed the main characters. Yeah, there's nothing worse than that. Nothing worse than that.
Yeah.
I'll take iffy over killing the reason I watched this fucking thing in the first place. Vaborn for $4.99. I feel things aren't getting better. They're just doubling down, maybe because they're desperate. Losing money doesn't bother them. What else can we do? Things are changing. That's why we're entering the era of slop. Echo Chamberlain did a great video on it. I didn't call it slop, but I was talking about it last year. I'm like, once the woke's never going to go away. It's never going to go away completely. But once it becomes a driver, it's not the main thing anymore. What we're going to be left with is all the other problems, Chris. We're going to be left with creative bankruptcy. We're going to be left with lack of talent. We're going to be left with overproduced bullshit with no talent involved. Like, things aren't directed. Things aren't made or crafted. They're produced. Yep. Right? You were going to say something, Chris?
Well, I was going to say, like, woke has always been around. Yeah. It was just small indie movies that opened in New York or LA. They were never, the themes were always in smaller movies with what people would acknowledge are a limited market, right? But the fact that these ideas are being pushed into big tentpole mainstream movies that's the thing that is new. But these kind of, having gone to the Sundance Film Festival since the 90s, I'll just say these kinds of movies have always been out there. They were just always like smaller films, and they weren't so much pushing they weren't overtly pushing agendas. Now when it comes to mainstream, it is very overt.
Extremely.
And which is why it's so off-putting. So yeah.
Extremely.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. And what we're going to be left with is slop. They have gone back and tried to edit, like Captain African American. They edited out the TDS as much as they could.
Yeah.
That's what they did. And Snow White, they tried to Frankenstein that one. So there's actually a worse version out there, which is amazing. So you're seeing a lot. Daredevil, same thing. Can't wait till Ironheart comes out. Oh, so we're still going to get a lot of shit. But like Minecraft, I didn't like it, but it wasn't woke.
Yep.
Wasn't woke. But you still got to be good. So that's the whole problem is, okay, it's not woke. You still got to be good. You can't just say this movie's not woke.
Yep. Yep.
HZ for €5 says, Gary, when you first said Bill Burr was a fence sitter, I honestly thought you were hating. Turns out you were actually right. He's a fucking fence sitter.
I think he's also ill-informed.
Yep.
He seems really ill-informed.
No, he really wants to be part of the club. That's all he's ever wanted to be part of. And he got to start being quote unquote edgy. Opie and Anthony would have him on the show. He won't even talk to Anthony Cumia anymore. And he goes out there and bitches about cancel culture, and he wouldn't let him into one of his clubs. Like, he's just always been a fucking hypocrite. And his wife flipping off Trump and stuff like that, which is whatever. But don't come on like you're like Mr. Edgelord, and then you're fucking going after Elon Musk and going on the fucking View. Like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, by the way, watch his special on Hulu, Disney-owned Hulu, fucking whatever. No, there's better comedians. Much, much better comedians out there than Bill Burr. Tenero for $9.99. The potential Star Wars content we've lost due to Star Wars and their garbage management is nothing short of a travesty. It's a crime against the imagination, Tenero. Hail to the fellowship and hope you enjoyed my truffle shuffle. I sent your Instagram. Why, thank you. 2 cent fandom for $5. Gary, great seeing you at the meetup. Really cool seeing you wear the shirt I gave you at the conference. If Gore or Mahler want one, I need their size. Okay, so this was on a stream we were on. I can't remember which stream, 2 cent fandom, but somebody said, you're not as smart as you think you do. And he made it a shirt, and I wore it.
Yeah.
I wore it at the conference in Sedona all day. You're not as smart as you think you do. And I can't remember who said it, but so good. Razor Hammond for $1.99. Gary, give some must-read fantasy. Chris DD is bad.
I didn't hate GD as much as you did. I think because I binged it. Although that one scene, the thing that I hated the most was that conversation where the woman was like, Daredevil didn't save me. I saved myself. That was so, it's
Cringe.
just, I come to expect it. It's weird. Like, okay, Daredevil Netflix is the best TV thing that Marvel's ever done, which Marvel had the least to do with, right?
Yep.
All the Marvel Disney Plus series, I haven't even finished most of them. I think they're bad. So having seen Daredevil Born Again, it's the best thing Disney Plus has done and not as good as Netflix. Make sense?
Yeah,
and
it's the best thing they produce.
Ignore the bad.
And they can't produce television. They just like this made it clear to me their turnaround is bullshit. Like, the best we can hope for are some gimmicky moments in Secret Wars where we'll see some cameos and cool stuff. But as far as like, and it's turned into what the comics are. The comics are essentially baseball cards. People fucking buy them for the covers. And they're not story driven anymore. look at this cover, or this artist is coming back to a 20-year-old franchise like Hush. What used to drive comic books is good storytelling, period.
Yeah.
And then you lead up to events, but between those events, you had some solid storytelling in the X-Men, in Daredevil. You had long runs that were keeping everything afloat. And Batman, when Jeff Johns was writing Teen Titans, you had stuff that was bringing people in every week, and it wasn't just some event, right? Now they got addicted to events much later, and this is before things what like crashed and burned, turned everything woke. But now nobody gives a shit. Nobody's discussing plots of fucking Marvel or DC Comics. They're just like, oh, they just turned this person gay.
Right.
You know, it's like, and the same thing is happening in the movies. Like, what are people talking about with Star Wars? The fact that they can't make anything, and some actor said something fucking stupid, and the latest rumor that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving. That's all Star Wars is right now.
The conversation is not about what's happening in the universe. No one cares. But by the way, just say blanket statement. My opinion does not invalidate your opinion.
No.
Or Gary's does not invalidate my opinion. We can all have opinions that are different.
Yes.
And they can coexist. You telling me my opinion is wrong is not an argument. That's what you think. Good for you. But it reminds me of the stupid people that argue in favor of the Acolyte. The fact that you enjoy it and I did not enjoy Acolyte doesn't mean I'm not trying to like diminish someone's enjoyment of the Acolyte. You're free to love it. But coming after people like me or Gary or others for not liking Acolyte, that's when you're midget minded in my view. So I love diversity of opinion.
Yes.
But it works when people are tolerant of that. And when I see the intolerance, which I used to see was coming from one side, I see it creeping in maybe to the other side. Check yourself. You know, I'm going to love things Gary doesn't love. I love a lot of weird shit. I love trauma movies. I like bad. I like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Part 2 was great. Part 1, not so much. Part 2 was great. Gary's never going to see that movie. I can't convince him. And you shouldn't waste your time. I thought Screamboat was Popeye the Slayer Man.
I'd watch that.
That one was fun
I'm
as
a
shit.
Popeye fan.
That one's coming out. It's fun. The Death of Snow White, which I think I forced you to watch the trailer. I love that film. I saw it in a theater. But my taste, if you like my taste, fine. And you know what? No one should ever 100% like align with anyone's opinion. I find that boring. I like discussion. I like someone brings in, I'm always learning about something that I didn't know. A filmmaker, obscure film, like a TV show, whatever. It's great. So you know what? I took away, I think it's like my experience of watching Lost, which was a show I loved until like when you get to the third season, you realize it's fucking meandering and what the fuck is this? But I stuck with it to the end. And I deleted in my mind all the storylines I hated. I took away the stuff I loved, and I remember that. But I just bought the whole thing digital. I'm rewatching some, and I'm like, wow, there was a lot of stuff that was shit. But there was stuff that was so good. That's how I feel about like Andor season 2. Like there is stuff that is so good. Like, oh my God, it's actually everything is paying off. Characters meet fates, and it all ties in. It's great. There's also shit like this lecturing speech a woman gives this dude after the death of a partner, again being vague, that is so cringe. You gotta, Gary, like, just remember I told you that speech. It's so annoying. It's like you can there are parts of Andor season 2 where I'm like, oh, women were working on this, and there's crying,
a lot of
and there's
Star Trek.
Like, you know, if you watch my live streams with Alan, you realize I don't care about people's feelings. Like, and I feel like women, for the most part, care about feelings more than men do.
Way
but
too
that's
much.
why you need a balance.
They're
right?
in the middle. They're in the middle of a battle, and a man yells at a woman because like it's a stressful situation. They're like, "Why did you yell at me?" It's like we're in the middle of a fucking battle. Okay,
Yes.
we'll worry about feelings later. We're all gonna die. It's like you yelled at me.
There's so much of that in Andor season 2, but there's also the good outweighs the bad, and when it gets going and there's stakes, and you see it's leading to actual consequences for decisions, and it really does set up like this is how the rebellion started within this government, and it does Andor does the political like intrigue or Machiavellian behind the scenes stuff better than the prequels. It does that element. There's espionage, spy work, there's secrets, and it's better than the way the prequels did it, which was very, like on the surface and obvious.
Well,
So,
I got a lot of shit.
You'll see. I really want to hear what because I finally understand now, why people who love Andor season 1 love it. It's like, oh, I get it now. This is really building, and the structure really makes it work. The countdown of each of the 3 sets of episodes. It's getting to events we're familiar with, but not in a way we're like, oh, well, we know how it ends. It's like we don't know exactly how we get there.
No.
We know how we get to Han, Luke, and Leia and all that. We know that's coming, but it's not, there's no like shot of, they don't go to Tatooine, So, yeah.
Yeah. I got a lot of shit for Picard season 3. That's fine.
You know what? It's fine. All I'm saying is, give me shit. My assessment, my initial assessment of She-Hulk was, wait, can I say CUNT on the show? Or
yes,
no?
you can. I don't care.
Okay. They created a female character who was a bitch and a cunt and not self-aware,
and who
and
wasn't in the comic books, who was really fun and really leaned into it in the comic
she
books.
was great.
Yeah.
I loved her when she was replaced the Thing. I actually thought I would hate it. I
thought I would hate it too, and she was like a really fun character. Like she really leans in. She knows she's this big green hot woman that people are ogling, and she's like, she just plays with it and has fun with it, and it's not
exactly
like she's not worried about anything. But real quick to Star Trek Picard season 3.
Yeah.
I was totally prepared to just fucking rip it a new one. I was asked to watch it, and I'm like, all right, but like, be ready.
Yeah.
You have been warned. And I was surprised as anybody that I liked it. Now I could have probably just said I didn't like it, but that would be lying.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to do. So, I'll take my lumps. It's fine, but I'm being honest. I'd rather take my lumps for being honest.
Well, look, Iron Man, Tony Stark, RDJ is that character, was an asshole, a womanizer, and a prick, and a narcissist. He begins that way. His journey over not only the Iron Man movies, but other movies come to his end where he is selfless, cares about family and his daughter, is no longer a womanizer, and has come to a different place in his life, right? Is accountable for his decisions. And I felt, wow, they're going to do this with a woman, because what they normally do with female characters in both Marvel, Star Wars, modern movies is they're great at the beginning and great at the end.
They travel a straight line.
A straight line.
Straight line.
And my thought was, the way She-Hulk began was, wow, what a bitch. What a CUNT. What a narcissist. What a, like, she only cares about herself. It could have been a journey to the She-Hulk we know in the comics. It did not end that way.
It did not end that way.
And so there you go.
There you go. And the rest was herstory.
Yeah.
War Van Eagle TV for $9.99. I'd like to nominate these 80s flicks for retroactive Oscars. Amazon Women on the Moon, 3 O'Clock High, Used Cars, UHF. I agree with that.
Used
Cars is so awesome,
good.
Dude.
Yeah.
Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Hey guys, please consider YouTubers Jester Bell and Dan Sundstrom as possible guests for respective panel shows, hail the 199. We will do that. Thank you. We love suggestions. Enrico Palazzo for $9.99. You're welcome, Chris. Enjoy Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. And Gary, give your video selections a try. Thank you. You gave me a lot of video.
Thank you so much.
I have to fucking build a new thank you, by the way, Enrico. I have to build a new wing in my fucking media room for all the. You gave me like. I got a stack. Did I get Kiss Meets the Phantom? I saw that live on TV. Chris, have you ever seen Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not. I've seen clips and I know it exists.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. It's not good, but I loved it when I was a kid. Fucking loved the shit out of it. Vagabundo Devon for $15. Hail you, guys. Can't wait for the next meetup I can go to. Nice seeing you all again. And come to Dragon Con to hang with me and Chris Gore.
Devon, I'll be there.
When is Dragon Con?
It's Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
End of August. Dude, it is
in Atlanta, dude.
Bring Mrs. Nerdrotic. I might bring a lady friend. It's so fun. The best cosplay, the most clever, the panels, you would love the panels. They have a whole science track where they get into like stuff that you are into for Forbidden Frontiers. It is so fun. It is nerdy gras. It is, Gary, I'm telling you, just buy tickets and go. We will have a blast.
I'll see if I get some media credentials.
Yeah. Do that. Whatever. I already bought tickets, so I'm going.
Hey, if I could get them, I'm going to ask for them. If I'm going to get free fucking tickets, I'm going to ask for them.
I think it's like $100. Yeah. It's just, I don't want to feel obligated to cover shit. I just want to have fun.
Well, no, like I don't. I mean, I do on my live streams, but like, I just get in. They don't like make you do anything. If they started like if there's a bunch of fucking strings attached, I'd just pay to get in.
Well, So, but whatever. Just Dragon Con.
We media at fucking ComicCon because you pulled that like, hey,
what'd I do?
Just let's walk in this room like we know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
And we went into a certain area. Dude, we just got in.
We're going to Hall H this year. And
so funny.
Wait, so
Chris is all, okay, just stand outside this door and follow this line and act cool. Yeah. I'm like, all right. Because I didn't care. Good. Like, we get fucking thrown out, whatever. We got in the line. We act cool. We're all, how you doing? Yeah. What's up?
Well, we couldn't pee.
Walked right the fuck in. But, yeah, we had a little problem going to the bathroom. But we managed to do that. And we got to see RDJ announced as Tony Stark.
We were right in front of the stage. There. It was awesome.
That was fucking hilarious.
It was fun. It's weird. It's like a concert. The way that the Marvel panel is like, but we had to suffer through some other shit.
Dude, I am so sorry I didn't pay more attention to the Penguin panel.
Yes.
Because what's her name was like
not to be so good.
I'm forgetting her name. The hot woman. Was like 15 feet away from us, man.
Right. God.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, wait. So we're going. By the way, I did pitch panels.
Good.
That if at least one gets approved, I'll put you on a panel.
I have to go out and see my mom again. So
then you'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I can never find a hotel. I can never.
Oh, we're gonna get our regular Airbnb. We couldn't get it last year, but we're gonna get it. I think Mel is gonna pull it off this year. Yeah. The one with one bathroom.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's in a good spot, though. It's in a great spot to like, boom, you get right in. It's well placed. Fear in their social status in Hollywood, says Dearest for $2. Yes, they fear it. Darth Maul's lower half for £5 Hail, Gary, didn't really appreciate your comments about me during FNT. I'd never hump the Gungans. Just kidding. I chose the alias for a reason. Yes, you did. We were talking about his lower half running around, and it wasn't hump. It was raping the Gungans. War Van Eagle TV for $9.99. Any truth to the rumor that the Trump tariffs are really there to stop the flow of films like Amelia Perez into the U.S.? Well, there's good in everything, isn't there? Comics Dad for $4.99. Gary just wanted to say I appreciate you, X-Ray Girl and Chris, and the FNT crew. We appreciate you too. Also, make entertainment and comics great again, which indies are doing. There you go. There you go. Lord Comet for $10. Hi there. Hi there,
Hey,
CG.
Lord Comet.
What was that? Oh, Lord Comet.
I know Lord Comet.
Okay, for $10. Hi there, CG. We've been pals for 10 plus years, and that's Chris Gore, by the way. And we had our different opinions, but we stayed pals. It's what friendship is all about. Stay frosty, Chris Gore.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, no, I collect friends with different opinions, and I'm here to learn.
Yep.
You know, RMB. I've been talking to him since the '90s.
Yeah, I love Robert.
Yeah.
Robert's great.
Probably
Robert's a legit like nerd. And
dude.
Well,
yes.
The Marvel guy. I love him.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. He's a dude. I mean, that narrows it down to half the people who work there, but whatever. He's a dude.
Yeah.
We don't agree on everything. You know what, Chris? My wife and I don't agree on everything.
That's crazy.
It's amazing, but we've been married for
That's
21
wild.
years.
That's an achievement.
Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with her saying a knucklehead like me, but I'm grateful. Nega Gary from the League of Evil Garys for $5. Mwahaha. If it isn't the cursed Gary, X-Ray Woman, and Christopher Gorbino, bend the knee to us, Gary, and leave this universe culture war. Give up. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give up. I'm too old to give up.
Never.
Gary, any thoughts on Paul Giamatti as Art Bell? Mike Spilligan for £2 British pounds. Yes, I haven't talked about this enough. So the Art Bell movie that's being produced, independent film, somewhat. Paul Giamatti is perfect casting, I think. Absolutely perfect casting. The Y-Files has something to do behind the scenes with this movie. So AJ and his team his brilliant team at the Y-Files have a little something to do with this movie. I can't fucking wait to see this movie. So anything I can do to make this thing happen quicker so I can see it. I think it's going to be a very authentic story about the man.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to see it. Chris, you need to go.
I got to prep for my show.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Eat something. But, God, are there any soups specifically for me here?
I don't see any.
I don't think so.
We're done.
Okay.
We're good.
You're close to being done.
You should probably go eat.
Yeah. Look, by the way, I miss doing this every Wednesday.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
We're back.
So I'm
Baby got back.
Glad we're back, and let's I'm ready for ComicCon, dude. If I get a panel approved, let's go.
Do it.
Let's effing go. And we'll drive off that bridge when we get to it.
Like Thelma and Louise, we'll drive off the cliff together with our hands, holding hands, driving in a car, being lesbians.
If they reject all my panels, they definitely hate me at this point. I feel like.
Well, I mean, like look at who you're hanging out with now. It's
but that's it's. This is what annoys me. I Black girl nerds. I love talking to them. I want to talk to anybody. Defend your position. Everyone knows a little something different. You come with some biases, sure, but let's all talk. That's all I've ever thought about. And that's why FNT I think is as great as it is it's that conversation. It's the binge model. I bring that back because I do think certain things are better binged. I really do.
Oh, that's never been the debate though. The debate is what's a better business model? What is going to help?
Right.
Because before you go, every streaming show, everyone fucking produced, the streamer wants it to be the water cooler show. And the bar for that is Game of Thrones in its prime. It just is. Every fucking streaming service wants a Game of Thrones level show in their prime. Now that they have Succession and stuff like that, well, those were weekly release shows. And people talked about them every week. You get that word of mouth growing. When you drop everything at once, it is out of the atmosphere. It is out of the ether. It is out of the zeitgeist instantly, unless it's extraordinarily good, which hurts a pretty good show that could get better. So you put out a pretty good show all at once that a bunch of people watched and said, yeah, it's pretty good, and then never talked about again. It's hurting the mid-level movie. It's hurting the mid-level show, which could elevate into something great. A lot of great shows started out just kind of mid-level. X-Files wasn't a massive hit when it first came out. It was on Friday fucking night. It was put out to die. And it became a cult success, and then it got bigger and bigger as time went on. Game of Thrones didn't start out. It was getting beat out by Walking Dead at the time. And it's far surpassed Walking Dead until it turned to shit. But that's what people are working for. But like, how do I watch stuff? Chris, I binge the shit out of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I don't hate the model. I think it's a dumb business model. I think you release it weekly, and then you can binge it when it's done.
By the way, on the heels of G20, did you see this new trailer that dropped? You know what I'm talking about?
No, let's see it.
Oh, it's called Heads of State. You haven't seen this? I don't know if you want to play the whole thing. I put it in the private chat.
Let's take a look at it before
you
go.
I saw this morning. Okay. It might be too long of a trailer. It's like
what's it about? Give me the rundown real quick.
You will know from frame one.
Okay, we can watch a few minutes of it. Sure.
Yeah, oh my God.
Benny Johnson liked my joke in my G20 review talking about dual streaming on Rumble when Homelander is like streaming on YouTube. And I'm like, how does he get monetized? Well, if he's demonetized on YouTube, he can always dual stream on Rumble.
Oh my God. Anyways, check this out.
It's Prime.
Mr. President.
Oh shit.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Let me do it. I think my internet's better.
God,
no, just
X-Ray Girl, you're gonna get better internet someday.
Maybe I got my internet sick. I don't know.
Put mine up.
Kind of helpful for a producer to have good internet.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play this. Here we go.
Get that Starlink.
Yeah, but coming to Prime.
Yeah,
that should be in the theater.
It should be in the theater. I thought they were going to commit to like a lot more movies in theaters this year.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch it on streaming. I'll probably watch it.
I'll watch it.
Nobody is the shit. We're getting a second Nobody movie this year.
Nobody too. I saw the trailer.
Is it any good? Is it any good?
It looks okay. It's basically Vacation meets a Nobody movie. So they go on vacation and shit happens on vacation. I don't know. It's part of that showcase. I'm going to that tonight, by the way.
Are you?
That yeah, it's because I don't know. It's only because I didn't see everything when I was at CinemaCon, but you can still get tickets to that. So I'm seeing it tonight.
Oh, cool. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So weird that we brought that up.
Check the link. I sent you the link if you want to. You can just look it up. It's probably at your local theater. But everything I saw at CinemaCon, you can see there.
Oh, that's right. So, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's through tomorrow, I think, and then it ends.
Okay, so, I could probably go tomorrow. That's cool. Yeah. Well, Chris is going to go. Are you going with a date, or are you going by yourself?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
You're being coy. Look at you being coy. I like it.
Okay. I don't know.
I never ask people about their personal lives. That might have been the first time I've ever fucking done that, by the way, and then probably the last. I never ever ask.
No, it's cool. No, I'm
my business.
Yes, I'm,
I know you bring Alan.
Yeah.
He's your date.
Alan is my date.
All right, get the fuck out of here. Go get some food.
Hey. All right, love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
Straight girl, don't have too much fun. You were out at the club last night. That explains your voice. You partied. You partied too hard, even for you.
I'm getting old.
Shut up.
I'm getting too old.
All right. Take care. Oh, wait. I'm doing a film threat in under an hour.
Yes.
Hollywood on the Rocks with Alan, and I'll be on Drinker tomorrow. So.
Oh, good. Open bar.
So there you go. Open
Little
bar.
open bar. What are you going to talk about? Andor. You're going to probably
Well,
talk about
Probably
Andor.
Andor.
Oh, that's
Probably
good.
Andor.
Okay.
So there you go. All right. Take care.
Take care,
See you
brother.
next week.
See you next
Later.
week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chris Gore, everybody. Woo! Yeah. All right, here we go. Ball Gag Love Song has donated $9.99. That's Az's favorite song, by the way. That's what I heard. Who we raiding after the stream?
Rip in the silverback.
Rip the silverback.
I can't. Don't
Okay, I'll try not to make you talk as much, but it's kind of fun, so I might make you do it more.
Want me to read a soup?
Yeah, you should read Van Dutch's 87. Go.
Okay, Van Dutch 87 for $9.99. Watching Sinners made me want an adaptation of American Vampire even more. Such an underrated comic that deserves more attention. Oh my god, I sound horrible.
You do, but it's funny. Haha, we laugh at your misery.
I understand it.
American Vampire is very good. Yeah, I like to see proper vampires. That's why I like this movie. It's very much From Dusk Till Dawn, but that's not bad. But it did make me want to watch From Dusk Till Dawn. Is that in 4K? I got to look. I can't remember. If it's not, that's a travesty. I'm checking right now. Hang on.
Okay. I can read another
It
soup
is not.
time.
What the fuck? That's terrible. Go on. Sorry.
Chat, I don't have jades, okay? I don't have jades. Of all things.
WG for 20 says, I'm donating this super chat on behalf of the Andor shit take review syndrome. Searching for a cure on behalf of Mahler and Chris since 2023. Bless their hearts. Well, I'll give you my shit take on it Friday. We have Robot Head coming on Friday. Fucking long over. You know what? I want to formally apologize to Robot Head that we haven't had him on. We had him on like a couple of years ago. He needs to be in like regular rotation if he's okay with it. He's really good YouTuber. Like his videos are really well done. I don't think he's liking Andor very much. But we'll find out if I do. I might have a different opinion than somebody. It's so funny. Like I started out liking Daredevil, and then I watched the rest of it so I can have an informed opinion. Started not like it. So now now everybody's pissed. It's just great. It's not as bad as the Batman. By the way, you can send all apologies to I don't give a fuck. I don't need apologies at gmail.com. You don't know that I got ratioed like fucking crazy on that fucking trailer when it first came out because I said all the things I stand by right now. I actually ended up liking the movie more than I thought I would. But I hate the color, and I thought his costume looked like his cape was a trash bag. And that hasn't changed. I think Robert Pattinson's a pretty good actor. I do. Not sure how great of a Batman he is. Would have loved to have seen Ben Affleck write, direct, and act in his own Batman. I think it would have been good. Oh, well. I know there's rumors out there that we might not get the Batman 2, and we might not. Who fucking knows? 2027 is a long way off. But damn, that Penguin show was good. Schmuckman for $5 says 1 year sober. All right. Did it on my own free will. Yes. However you do it, you did it. Getting 1 year sober is great. It's a major accomplishment. New lease on life. Anakmamon reviews and rants for $2 says, X-Ray Girl, I'm getting too old for this shit. X-Ray Girl's like 10.
No, I'm not.
You just sounded like a 10-year-old. I just hope you...
No, I don't.
I sound really old now.
Yeah, that's it. Chat's going to like that in a really weird way. Sick bastards. I love you. A Wednesday trailer came out. It actually looked kind of good. I didn't hate Wednesday. The show. I think Jenna Ortega is way better than Rachel Zegler. If you want short Latina actresses are concerned, I think she's way better. Has a better attitude. And I think she's a better actor. Inakbamon reviews and rants for $5. Gary used to work at a comic book store, like how Tommy used to work on the docks. Union's been on strike, and he's down on his luck. It's tough, so tough. Fuck off. Centurion 84 for $2 Australian. Watch Star Wars saved in the edit. Fascinating. Yes, it is. VJ, the Vigilant Guitarist, for $4.99. The prequels, we like. Lucas saw The Fifth Element, and Men in Black thought this was what Star Wars should be. Well, Fifth Element, for me anyway, is what sci-fi should be. The spirit of the Fifth Element, the look, the lived-in look that's fantastical at the time. You know, it's funny, is Ruby Rod is basically an influencer. Like, they predicted the influencer of just of fucking walking around and like it predicted it perfectly, just walking around IRL shit. And The Fifth Element is a beautiful film. It's based on, you know, Metal Hurlant art and Mobius, and that's what sci-fi should be. That's because it's got a fun element, it's got a dark element, and there's something very breezy about the story in Fifth Element. But it's the most heavy live action heavy metal thing, Metal Hurlant thing I've ever seen, and that will never change. And super green, but like. They predicted the influencer, and I remember watching that in the theater, being absolutely fucking blown away at what I'm seeing. I'm like, this is the greatest movie ever made. And when they finally, because you're not going to sense this at the time, but the movie like throws shit at you so fast. It's just like throwing shit at you, and then it gets dead silent when the fucking singer starts. And it gives you a chance to breathe, and you just go, and the whole fucking audience goes, oh. And then it starts this beautiful like operetta music, and it's like quiet for a moment. And that is like all that bullshit you see on fucking Twitter. I'm sorry to use the term. That's fucking cinema. That's everything I wanted out of sci-fi. And I was blown away. I was amazed that the movie didn't do better than it did, because it didn't do that great in the theaters. It got appreciated later, a lot like Blade Runner. I remember there was a time where the soundtrack was sold out, and on eBay you'd have to pay $50 to get the Eric Serra, right? Eric Serra soundtrack, which I had. I bought everything involved, which was like 5 things. I bought everything related to this movie, including the video game. There's a French book, basically the making of The Fifth Element, that went out of print almost immediately, and good luck finding it. It's probably worth like between $400 or $500 right now on eBay, if you can find it at all. There were supposed to be action figures, and there never were. They made a couple of I bought everything you could buy, which was like 5 things, which is basically kind of like what happened with Blade Runner. But Fifth Element, to me, it's a 10 out of 10 movie. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. I fucking love that movie. And I think that's what sci-fi should lean more into. Instead of, oh, we're on a desert planet fighting a bunch of hive-minded bugs or some shit. I'm tired of that stuff. It's boring. Gary Oldman was fucking epic in it. Love that movie. Darth Maul's lower half for €2. His name will be Ken Solo. Bad Wolf Dawn for 2 Canadian pesos says Lord of the Rings to Jaws. Jaws 2 and 3 are worlds apart. Yeah. If we're going to talk about trilogies, you know, I was thinking about trilogies. I was thinking about what are the best trilogies. And maybe I'll make a video about that. What do you think about that, X-Ray Girl?
The best trilogies.
I mean, we know what number one is, but it's all the rest. It's all the rest. Because number one's Lord of the Rings. It's stop. Chat, stop. I know you're going to say Indiana Jones. Because there was only 3 Indiana Jones films. Close, but no. I know you're going to say Back to the Future. That's really fucking good. But no. I know you're going to say Star Wars. No, it's Lord of the Rings. But what are the rest? Don't know. Maximus Rabitus for $1.99. Send Doge to Lucasfilm now. That should do it. I agree. Doge needs to go to Hollywood. A Marcellus for $5. When are we going to see Black Jedi trying to take out a lone in the next projects? Well, I think Andor gets into the mechanics of Star Wars, which I don't necessarily think is a great idea. It worked in the EU. See, I consider the next natural place to go for somebody who is a real Star Wars fan is the EU. And I don't mean just the novels. I mean the comics as well. And I guess some of the people out there would say some of the games. Honestly, I wouldn't know. As massive a gamer as I am, I wouldn't know. But I would definitely say Dark Horse Comics, novels. That would be the next natural place to go before you go to anything Disney, Star Wars, any Andor, anything. That's where you go. That's where you go. But this is where Star Trek is different than Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars does explain a lot of stuff in the EU. Star Trek certainly explains a lot. It's got just as an expansive novel collection as Star Wars that expands on stuff. But Star Trek explains their energy sources and their government and a lot of things in the show that the true canon of Star Wars, which is movies, doesn't really get into. And I think that's what keeps it science fantasy over science fiction. Because Star Wars is as much fantasy as it is science fiction. And I think over-explaining things in Star Wars isn't exactly what I'm looking for. I don't need to know, like George R.R. Martin famously said, like, how do they pay for things in Gondor? Well, they obviously tax. But we don't need to know it. It's not really that important to that story. It's important to George's story, but then he got so burdened down talking about fucking taxes that he can't finish the fucking thing. So I don't need to know everything in Star Wars. I think what made Star Wars unique and good is your imagination filled in the blanks. They perfectly laid out a world that was a template. That gave you the important details. But it's kind of like running around a video game back in the old days when the world would fill up in front of you, you know? That's what Star Wars was. And that filling it up was your imagination based on little kernels of stuff that George and others gave to you. The whole battle between Anakin and Ben, the final battle, was so much better in so many kids' heads than what came out. Now, it's a pretty good lightsaber duel, but it's way better in our head. The one we were hinted at in Bantha Tracks, when I was reading Bantha Tracks, what's Bantha Tracks? You had to be a member of the original Star Wars fan club to read the Bantha Tracks, the newsletter. I still have some, by the way. I have a little folder with my Bantha Tracks in it. Maybe I'll give it away. Anakbamon, reviews and rants for $5. A great Sean Levy movie that not enough people have seen is Real Steel. It's based on Richard Matheson's story that was originally in the Twilight Zone. I haven't seen Real Steel. Now I got to watch it. Richard Matheson, one of the greatest writers of our ever. May he rest in peace. Richard Matheson. I didn't know Sean Levy did Real Steel. How did I miss that one? I missed some movies. I haven't seen The Accountant. I'm going to fix that soon. Matthew Hammond on the Streamlab side for $5. John Milius, dictated the Jaws sinking of of the USS Indianapolis monologue he wrote to Spielberg over the phone as Jaws was being filmed and was a last-minute addition to the movie. Well, I mean, he also wrote out the dialogue for the monologue. He punched that up for Spielberg too. Knee pain for $5. Sorry, where was I? I was going to go back. Where did it go? That's what I wanted. Sorry. Hang on.
Do you want me to read it?
No, I got it. I was just, I just wanted to make sure I caught everything. Where'd it go? There we go. Got it. Knee pain for $5. Ryan Gosling will get himself into trouble, and Jedi Master girl boss Rey will show up and rescue him. Rosie for $149, a super sticker. Thank you very much, Rosie. Thumbs up 1981 for $4.99. A female executive that no one in the media remembers ran DC Comics for nearly 30 years. I'm rather fond of that era. What do you say? Are you talking about Vertigo? Nobody talks about that because she was good. That's why. Snell's World for $2. I liked how they opened up Cloud City. For the improvement? Yes. Yes. I'll never forgive the mouth on the Sarlacc pit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was, thumbs up 1981. Rosie for $5. The extended Jabba's Palace dancing with the music killed me. Look back, it was a red flag for the goofiness of the prequel trilogy. It really was. It really was. Jeanette Kahn says thumbs up 1981. You're right. But there's also, God, I'm blanking on her fucking name now. I hate being old. Karen Berger. I knew it was Berger. I didn't know what her first name. So there was Karen Berger and Jeanette Kahn. Yeah. Two women who handled things pretty well for a long time in comics until they didn't. Leo Kaiser for £5 British pounds, proper money. Worst change in Empire Strikes Back, removing Vader's line, "Bring my shuttle," where he sounded pissed after the fight with Luke. Des Roma for $1.99. Kidnap Az and Mahler 2. Okay. What's the ransom going to be? A lot? $5, bag of chips, whatever. War Van Eagle TV for $4.99. Double vote bonus for masking up while watching. Alex Belfour for $1.99. Annie Hall beats Star Wars. Yeah, like fucking get real. Old Timer for $5. Hollywood is the gayest black. Is this the gayest black man ever? Totally. War Van Eagle TV for $4.99. Alex Darby, big swinging like Sean Kemp with Santa's sack of memberships. Hell yeah. Boogie's Twisted Tipples for $2. Chris Chan for Pope. Yeah. We'll see what happens with the Pope. Hey, y'all. I finally escaped from evil, diverse Gary. This is Red X for $5. I wanted to recommend you guys a small indie film called Fallout Red Star. Watch it. Hail. There you go. Snell's World for $5. The first 2 prequel episodes should have been the Clone Wars micro series expanded and then Revenge of the Sith. I'm fine with that. I just don't think we saw. I think we could have seen a lot more of the Clone Wars and a lot less of baby fucking Anakin. Alex Belfour for $4.99. My wife worked in casting and reality TV. Often it is the casting assistant who actually finds the actors and the casting director takes the credit. Yeah, that's Hollywood. Isaac for $1.99. Star Wars Starfighter is Top Gun, but in space. Alex Belfour for $1.99. I worked, and Top Gun Maverick's a Star Wars movie. It pretty much is. I worked union set dressing, and QB strike sucked. Oh, the 08 strike sucked. Why did I say QB? I was looking at it through my fucking... God, I hate these fucking progressives because I'm looking up and I just see the blurry version in '08. Looks like QB. I just need to get reading glasses. I'm just going to need to change my glasses all the time. So yes, he was a casting. I worked union at set dressing, and '08 strike sucked. Yes, it did. Brad Narrow, Allen for $5. Got to see Warfare. It will definitely be your number 3 movie of the year. Okay, I will see it. Chad Admiral Thrawn for $5. Star Wars requires 2 elements to feel like Star Wars: hope and the Force. Andor lacks both and is soulless. Yeah, I mean, like, boy. Like I said, I've only watched 4 episodes of the first season, so it's not a super informed opinion. But it feels like it's got all the soul of a technical manual. It does. And all the swagger of a set of instructions. Gary, please go see The Ugly Stepsister. I will, Lathan. I like the trailer. I really did. TJ Crank for $2. In the Pale Moonlight is my favorite Trek episode. That's a good Trek episode. That is, I mean, for all of Trek, we're talking about all of Trek. DS9, Voyager, OST. That's in top 10. Easily in top 10. I can't answer that. Right? I was just thinking I'm like, what's my all-time favorite single episode or 2-part? We can say 2-part of Star Trek. And I'm like, oof. Wow. That's hard to say. One of my favorites as a kid is not considered one of the top ones. X-Ray Girl's not going to know what I'm talking about. But I just love the Tholian web. I fucking loved that when I was a kid. And it's barely got Kirk in it. He's like floating around going. But there's a web being built around the Enterprise. It's such a cool episode. But that's not my favorite all-time episode. I'd have to think about it. Balance of Terror? Probably. Matthew Hammond for $5. Predator Badlands trailer released today. Carl Benjamin properly stated, how the hell did they manage to turn even a predator into a Soylenial? Oh no, it did? We can watch it towards the end. We're almost done here. So yeah, you want to fire it up, X-Ray Girl, with your shitty internet? Mr. Ginger for $4.99. Andor season 2. Shallow, slow, almost boring. Would make a nice screensaver. Oh, wow. Wow. Bill Burr is the white Will Smith. Yeah, without the acting talent. I will like Will Smith can act, okay? I mean, his whole life's an act. Hey, Will, fuck I Am Legend 2. Will, I know you're listening. You listen to all my live streams. Say hi to Jada for me. G.I. Jada. Bright 2. Hear me out. Get Max Landis back. Uncancel him. He shouldn't have been canceled. Get Max Landis back to write the script. Get your boy David Ayer to direct it. Because David Ayer is a pretty good director when he's let loose to be a director. Release the Ayer cut, by the way. Release the Ayer cut. And do Bright 2. Because I love the fucking movie Bright. I do. Unapologetically. Kukusan for $4.99. With our newfound celeb Riz, will you ask Elon to start a competing movie with my newfound? Riz means charisma. X-Ray Girl. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Riz means charisma. So you're saying I have juice with I don't. Elon should start a competing movie company. I think he needs to focus on space. Why would he waste his time with a movie studio? I think if he helps fund Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg's movie studio, I'm for that. Hey, but what the hell? Everybody tells Elon how to spend his money. I might as well too. I'd like to see a competing a movie. Well, what's going to happen is it's not going to be make something big enough to compete with Hollywood. What it's going to be is Hollywood fracturing and a bunch of little studios competing with each other, which is ultimately going to give us the best stuff. And it's going to be not artisanal, not compartmentalized, but it'll be smaller, regional, kind of like what regional music used to be. I don't want to use the word community because I think that's a commie word, but it's going to be smaller things supported by a smaller group of people, but passionately. And then some stuff will rise up and become massive mega franchises or movies or something like that. But I think eventually Hollywood is being broken up, essentially. So the entertainment industry, well, Chris is saying the decisions are made in Hollywood. And same goes for major news networks, the dying legacy media. The decisions are still made in Washington or New York, however you choose, probably Washington, from the CIA. But now there's independent news everywhere. Tim's in what, West Virginia, Crowder's in Texas, Joe Rogan, not really news, but in Texas, Benny's in Florida. Like, you can be where the fuck you want. I'm here in Texas. So it gets broken up. So you don't need to make something to compete with Hollywood because Hollywood just destroyed itself. And now you just need to be the best studio you could be and compete against yourself. So many right or moderate actors would sign up. Coke needs a Pepsi. You always need big competition, but the problem is, like, Hollywood did something worse than New Coke. They made woke Coke. They made woke Coke, and then Pepsi made woke Pepsi, and they all died. See, Warner Brothers and Disney used to be in competition with each other, major competition. Now they are just little children compared to Amazon and Netflix. Revan Ragnarok for €5 says, after 2 years, I'm getting a new dog. It's a mixed breed between a Beagle and a K. Charles Spaniel. Still in doubt for the name. Gandalf, Rocky, or Maximus. See which one he or she answers to first. I'm fine with all of those names.
What do you want to yell out when you try to call your dog back?
Yeah. What rolls off the tongue better? I nominate Toy Story 1 through 3, says the Kraken, for $10 for best trilogy. Not going to argue with that. First two are amazing. Been married for 40 years. Never agree with my wife, says Alan Mack. That's why you've been married for 20 years. 40 years, sorry. That's 2 20s. Rated M for $1.99. New Predator trailer. Female Predator. Jesus Christ. Rated M. Sinners makes me want to watch Fright Night 2011. I didn't hate Fright Night 2011. It's just not as good as the 80s Fright Night, which is much better. Red X for $2. Hope you get better, X-Ray Girl. Read my post, Gary. I just did. Syndek for $2. Best stream ever. Hey guys, you're the best. That's all. Hey Syndek, I need I don't know if you're waiting for me or not, but we need that Forbidden Frontier logo. We need to wrap that sucker up because we are ready. We are getting prepared to change Nerdrotic Live to Forbidden Frontier channel. We're in the home stretch, so I will email you. Enoch Maman, reviews and rants for $2. Ruby Rod, Jeremy Griggs, Super Green, Jesus Davilia. Now I want to watch that movie. Jesus Davilia for $1.99. Thumbs up sticker. Thank you very much. Enoch Maman, reviews and rants for $2. You better put the Evil Dead trilogy on your list. Of course I will. Canon Raw for 2 Canadian pesos. Trilogies. 2 Matt Reeves, the Ape trilogy. How to Train Your Dragon. See? There's good trilogies out there. It's debatable. Like, what's the best after The Lord of the Rings? Young Asian MC. This will end at 3 parts. Jesus Christ.
5. I tried to condense it.
It's 5?
Well, it's really a song.
It's really a song at $25 on the Streamlabs side. Am I supposed to sing this? I'm not going to.
Yeah, I would.
Because I like the audience and I want them here. This year's a jam for our Ferras trying to do. Trying to do what those radies tell us. Get shot down because you're overzealous. Pray hard to get Fameras. Get jealous. Okay, smarty. Go to the party. Girls are scantary crad, and showing body. A chick works. A chick works. Why you wish you could sex her, but you're standing on the war like you was Poindexter. Next day's function, high crass luncheon. Food is served, your stone cold munchin'. Music comes on, peeper start to dance, but then you ate so much you nearly split your pants. A girl starts working. Guy starts talking, sits down next to you and starts tarking. Says she wants to dance because she likes the groove. So come on, fatso, and just bust a move. There's more. If you want it, you got it. If you want it, baby, you got it. Just bust a move. If you want it, you got it. If you want it, you got it, baby. Just bust a move. Thank you very much.
Asian rapper section.
That's it. Andy makes Star Wars for £2 for Forbidden Frontier Hail. Yes, back this Sunday. Lots to talk about. All right, we're out of here. X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
Probably do poor choices tonight. We'll see. It might be a little rough. And then tomorrow, a nooner on this Nerdrotic
Live
at 11.
At 11.
Central. So
at 11.
I'll be around. And new super chat, which I'll put in the here. There you go.
Okay. It says Lord of the Rings does not qualify as a trilogy. It's a single piece of work. I mean, yes. When somebody asks what's the best movie, I say it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. What's the rest of it? I don't see it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Is it way down there? Oh, there it is.
Oh.
It is a single work divided into 3 parts. Both the movies and yes, that is true. The single work divided into 3 parts is still a trilogy. Whether the creator intended it to be one or not, it's still a trilogy. But when I'm asked what's the best movie ever made, it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Yes. It's still the best trilogy. It's the best movie in the best trilogy. I don't make the rules. I just make the observations. All right. I will be back tomorrow with a square up for Friday Night Tights, last 2 Friday Night Tights on Nerdrotic Live and Rumble. That's where this stream will go too. It will be re-uploaded on Nerdrotic Live, but you can also just hang on to the link. We unlist it, but you can keep watching. If you lose the link, you can go find it again on Twitter. It's on our Twitter post, right? So you can also listen to this on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Audible, on all your favorite podcasting places. We appreciate you listening there. Thanks to Chris Gore. Go watch Rip in the Silverback and then watch Film Threats stream. You have streaming entertainment for the rest of the day. Until next time, ciao bella.